I haven't watched stuff since I've been over at my mom's, and I just watch a bunch of shit over there.
Indeed.
The
Welcome. Let's see. Got almost everybody. How are we doing?
Chilling.
chilling. Thanks, you owe me a soda. Haha.
Sorry.
Oh, it's in game.
Game. Are we streaming?
We
Yeah.
are. I'm also
Oh.
recording. So
Neon's
Yo,
my
we
best
started
friend.
the
I wish-
recording.
I started
Oh.
it as I started the stream. I was gonna do that from now on.
Oh my gosh.
Smart take.
Well,
That's so good.
the good news is that I can't fuck it up if I already have it on. So it just means I'm gonna
Real.
waste space on my computer.
We don't need that.
Who needs space?
1,024 gigabytes later.
Who needs space?
Candyman's on this bitch.
Didn't you guys know we're gonna have 1,024 sessions?
Oh my gosh.
How many sessions did we have last time?
We're close to 80. We're like 2 years
And we're-
into that game. There's 52 weeks. We missed a lot of weeks, so 80.
And we're only on 14. That's crazy.
That's almost 3 months worth. That's
It's so
exactly 3 months
true.
worth.
Damn.
Because 14 times 7 is a certain amount of days. Well, needless, we can begin, and then when Ymir joins us once more, we can continue on that story. If you guys have anything you need from me, please let me know now.
98 days. Thank you.
But we're good, otherwise?
Yeah.
Do I got everybody here? Other than, like, Allie, you here?
Everyone's here. There's not
We're all
talking
here?
because they're lame as shit.
Yeah.
I like
Sorry.
What do you want? What do you want from me? You're the one who ignored my message today, Dion. I don't know what you want from me.
Wait, did I?
Yes.
Yes!
Fuck! No! No!
Yeah!
No!
You got got! You
I'm
got got!
sorry. I'll take my leave.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I'm scared.
Mhm.
What the hell just
Mhm.
happened?
Alright, you're stuck here. Alright, I'm starting.
Okay.
Last we left off, Velu and Ymir, you guys were kind of encountered into your own space. We're gonna leave your guys' area for the time being. I believe right now it is
Thank
close to nighttime. Like we're like resting hours. So the four of you, who's sharing a room with Carnelian?
Where did we end the last session?
I believe everybody was just kind of
Weren't-
going to bed for the night, and Velu had stepped
No,
away.
I thought Carnelian
No.
just got molested by his shadow.
Yeah, so Carnelian and Idris and Father Cruz were all together. Vilu, Ymir, and Mimosa were all together at the tavern.
Yeah. So,
Oh, and
it is
Carnelian-
me,
No.
Cruz, and Idris
you-
No.
right now. I remember that Mimosa wasn't in here. Otherwise, Mimosa would have tweaked the fuck out.
Let's
I
remember
reset-
that.
Let's resettle this then. Who is with who,
Tweaking.
please?
Mimosa is by themselves.
I'm
They
by
were still at their
myself.
tavern, I think, or walking back home.
I think they're
Velu
walking
and
back home.
Ymir were together towards like the outskirts of the town.
Oh, you're right.
So-
Thank you, Zav. Oh my gosh.
Because
And I'm-
Velu was walking by himself, and then
Mhm.
Ymir found him.
Okay, cool. What I'm gonna do then is I'm gonna start with Mimosa. What are you doing, Mimosa?
Let's
He's just-
go.
Waltzing back home, you know, kicking the sand a little bit.
it's becoming the night as things have passed. You've had a few, not like intoxicated by any means, but it has been, realizing. Is there anything going through like your mind? Is there anything you're wanting to do other than just head home?
Yeah, he's just heading home. He's tired.
You will make it back just fine. The town is not lively. It's another day, as it always typically is. The doors opens to your home. The home is empty.
Empty?
Why is it empty?
Sorry, rephrase on that. You emerge back into your home, to the space which is empty. However, there's not like people are not just like kind of in the living area right now. I believe that the only two in here right now would be Father Cruz and Idris, right?
Where'd Carnelian go?
Is she walking in on my bug out? I thought that was already over in
Carnelian's
Bentley.
on the couch.
Yeah.
And then it went away. It was like let me out.
Yeah, but
and then-
isn't the room still dark?
Yeah, the room is still dark and empty, and Carnelian was still
Tweaking.
vibing in this moment. So Mimosa, you're kicking sand and coming back, and you're walking back to this. This is.
So did I just see the lights out inside the house?
You just see the door itself is closed, and when you go to open it, all the lights are out in the house, and you just kind of see the representation of everybody who's still within the home, and you just kind of walk in on it, and all the lights are out.
I'm gonna pull out my little magic light wand and just kind of shine it around. Just not even enter the house, just kind of look in. Hello?
Just,
Hi.
Open the door.
Why are you guys sitting in a dark room?
Why are you standing outside and looking in? Come on.
I'm not going in there. The lights turn on?
Should we relight everything?
Yeah.
Cornelia's just there on the couch, right?
Yeah, you're chilling.
Okay.
I thought right now Mimosa could be next to Cruz, even if there was no light.
Yeah, Mimosa naturally tethers in that direction, and you can see that them holding onto this lantern that they got. They're hugging onto that, and then also still moving towards your direction.
Why do you have the lights out?
Ask Carnelian.
What the fuck? Attitude. Cornelia's gonna side eye.
What?
He
Mimosas
can't
is
even
just
see it.
scratching his
He
head.
can't even see the side eye.
I don't have my little lights disperse from my lantern to light up the room.
As the lights go to disperse, you see you go to disperse them across the room. As it goes, you see that the light kind of goes to the positions where the torches were in the room, kind of creating this magical light. It illuminates the space enough for you not to have to hold the lantern. You put it to the center of the room, whatever you wanted. But Cornelian, you stand there and kind of side-eyeing on Father Cruz. I need you to make another Constitution saving throw.
God.
Oh, don't fail.
14.
14. The space that you kind of stand in, you're a little wobbly. Now that all of the after effects of whatever mind fuck you just went through has hit, you get the vertigo a bit of what has happened, and you kind of are now with the lights kind of hitting the room, you immediately get noticing that you are phasing out a bit. Your eyes are getting a little blurred. You see Idris, Father Cruz, and Mimosa who relit the room. Carnelian, you fall unconscious.
Has he been drinking? Is that why he turned the lights out?
I need Father Cruz, Idris, and Mimosa to make a perception check.
Okay.
24.
12.
12.
21.
21. Group check
Ooh.
for you three. Carnelian's breathing. It's the first thing you notice, the chest rising and lifting. So they're not, like, dead. So that's the first thing. That would be a typical medicine check, but perceptive enough to see that he's still, the chest is rising and falling, but the perception is really to tell that it's rising and falling fast. There's a moment of twitch in the finger and the eye as you notice Carnelian's eyes are rolled to the back of his head. And he is just on the ground, kind of like twitching, convulsing. Father Cruz can make a medicine check.
I am. 19.
Okay. You take a kneel. You kneel down. This is not a disease. This is not a poison. This is something otherworldly that is going on, and you get the sense that Carnelian is having some similar flash to what you have had whenever you get down, like when you went down to your ritualistic thing. Went back into the one of the many tombs or the shrines of your god Horus.
Did I use divine sense on this?
You could try. Describe to me like what that divine sense looks like for just the people who just kind of see you, like in this moment, kind of channel that after recognizing.
I mean, divine sense lets you detect anything good or evil, and if Cruz knows that this is similar to what he went through, then he's like, "This is just another thing of meeting your god face to face."
Right. So you trying to think of the best way to give you information with that. So, are you trying to get the sense that if he's affected by a spell right now? Or are you trying to sense any presences that are not Carnelian?
I guess presences.
You do not sense any other presences. You can use one of your defined sense usages, but you technically can always like see like when certain spells are also happening as well. Let me see. He is not under an effect. If that makes sense. He's not under like a hallowed spell right now. So you kind of get the sense of both. There's something else going on here, and you're not sure like it's what the medicinal practice is, but you also know that's not necessarily natural of what's going on. I need to skip over to Carnelian. You blink your eyes. You kind of like look at the palms, the blurry vision comes back, head hurts, sweat. Again, you're having like this kind of psychosis moment of like not sure where you are, but the first thing you immediately notice is that you're sitting on like the ground, like crisscross a bit, and your hand rubs down to the ground and you feel flowers. You have
What kind of
perception.
flowers?
Like they're white flowers, just like there's like a patch of it, and you're just kind of like rubbing your hand across it, and it's familiar, but it's also not where you were before.
Okay.
Looking up and beyond, you can't see beyond a 30-foot radius. It just kind of becomes shadowy dark. Just different smoky, like, apparitions of the distance. You peer into it more, but the more you try to make out the distance, the more harder your vision becomes to blur. as you can only really recognize the radius beyond you of 30 feet. Most of it covered in these white flowers, but as you look up, out, and around, it's just black darkness. And it's quiet.
Dark vision wouldn't affect that at all.
You get the sense that this has nothing to do with your vision. You don't feel as though you can't see. You just feel as though what you're trying to see through is like similar to fog.
Okay. I guess I'll kind of just inspect the area and try to analyze where I am.
Make a investigation check, I suppose.
Shitty rolls today. 8.
I mean, other than the familiarity of the flowers on the ground, you have no clue where you are. But the shadowy lurk of everything outside of you reminds you of a similar dark place. A dark essence of quiet that always undertook you from a long time ago.
Okay.
You don't hear the chanting that you remember from back before, but what you do hear is just the quiet breaths that you still release. But as you kind of open the mouth to speak, you realize no words come out. You feel quiet and like deafened. Not deafened, yeah, it's deafened.
Silenced.
Yeah, you're silenced.
Okay.
Not by magical means, though. You just feel as though whenever the words come through, there's no voice to be carried. You feel as though maybe you don't hear your own voice.
Do I have any weapons on me?
You look to your right and left, you see only one weapon.
Yep. I'll leave it on my side and I'll just get up and try to walk around.
Walking around this 30-foot radius space, as you kind of walk forward, the flowers continue on the ground, but the 30-foot vision of shadow follows. As you pierce further and further away, the ground itself becomes these white flowers and starts to decay as you walk. Where every place you step, the flowers die.
If I touch a flower, does it die? Like with my hand?
You reach down, put a hand towards it, you notice the crumpling and decay and wither of white flowers just turning to the green, to brown, to black, to ash.
Okay.
You try to feel for physical texture of it, and it almost just feels as though it becomes sand in a moment.
Okay, this is gonna sound weird and crazy as fuck, but I want to take this, I want to take the, like, ash from the flower and tuck it under my tongue.
Sure. Just take it, throw it into your mouth underneath your tongue, and just kind of press it in. There's taste. It's bitter. Similar to as if you were going to put gunpowder in your mouth.
Okay, I'll just keep it there.
Sits.
And I'll keep walking.
Keep walking. Returning to Velu and Ymir. In the alleyway where things have gotten tense, the last words spoken reiterate themselves to one another as Velu, you stand there confronted by the person you know longest within your troop.
So I'm just a little confused.
What? What's confusing?
You can like change your form or something? Like what is this?
Bella's not gonna answer him and just stare at him.
It's ironic you don't answer because I need you to answer something for me, Velu.
Okay.
In the knowledge that you can feel that your bond has dropped to 0 hit points, do you do anything?
My bond has dropped to 0 hit points.
Mm-hmm. You have an opportunity to use a reaction here.
Hold on. No. I guess.
You stand here for a moment and you feel the opening of an opportunity as Ymir, you see this as well. You see Velu's kind of that white pigmentation you see kind of like shines for a second again, and the whole body just glows in this white apparition of like silhouette. As the whole body, it's similar in bioluminescence almost, in how it kind of has a glow around like the fingers and arm and shoulder. It just outlines the silhouette instead of in dark but in light. And Velu, you hear a moment of stabbing with a sword. And you just hear
In front of him or behind him?
you hear it just in your peripheral space. Like you hear it like within like you exist in a moment. And as the like moment is about to pass, you feel the opportunity to use your reaction to like do something about it.
Could I cast a spell?
This is technically not a spell.
Okay.
This reaction is specifically for the bond that you have.
So I hear a stabbing.
Yeah, like Velu, you hear like the sheath of a blade inside someone's stomach, and
Could I?
grunt of something losing breath.
I summon him.
On the contrary, you are summoned.
Oh.
As the white glow happens, Ymir, you see fear in Velu's eyes and the uncertainty. You can make an insight check if you like, but you see Velu currently, his eyes widening and hearing something, like his eyes turning left and right, looking around.
20, 30.
20? Something's in his mind. Something has spoken to him, and he is not in control of whatever this is, but you see that he has a look of determination of like looking off into the distance, and you see the eyes again, these piercing into the dark eyes kind of look beyond.
What is going on?
Velu, you have a moment where you look at Ymir, you glow and brighter and brighter and brighter for a second as your body is completely covered in like white luminescence, and you disappear from your space.
Okay.
You're like, he's gone.
You see just there's a moment where Ymir sees a line being drawn behind Velu, similar to like a crack in like fabric, and a small hole emerges as Velu's entire corporeal form of light is sucked into something smaller than a grain of sand, thinned out.
He's gonna try and grasp at him.
You try to grasp, and as the grasp of the light fades through, you can feel the fingertips float through like light bioluminescence as it fades, and the light just sucks into it, just as nothing is left to grasp.
Velu?
Dust.
Ymir is just stunned and standing. His eyes are widened.
For the sake of purposes of location, Ymir, you're awfully close to Father Cruz's house. This is just more of like your knowledge, not what you're thinking about. But you are close to Father Cruz's house if you wanted to run for help and seeing somebody. You saw Mimosa walking by back to the home outside earlier, so if that's something in your mind. But also, in this space right now, you and Velu were the only two present.
Ymir is gonna start breathing very heavily, trying to get a grasp at what just happened. Where's Bongo?
Bongo was on one of the rooftops. You see that he's like kind of climbing over and looks down. He like jumps to where the dust was and lands. The dust kind of splits. He like digs at the dirt. He stands up straight, kind of looks at you, and he just like
Ymir-
points at you and like points around.
Ymir, without giving eye contact, go get them.
Just nods and just flies. You're like standing here, kind of like invading the space. The shoe prints of where Velu was standing are still there in the ground.
Did you go invisible?
You say this out loud. You don't hear any response back. You kind of invade. Bongo has jumped into that space and stood where the dust was, where the shoes were. But they are still kind of printed into the sand as if someone was still standing with you. It was that like snapped away.
Ymir is gonna take out his sapphire and he'll Velu?
We're gonna pop over to Velu. You will see the first few moments of this, Ymir. Velu. As you appear, the light fades in a moment, and for a second, the grunt of pain becomes yours. You take 6 piercing damage.
Okay.
Ymir, you see Velu like writhe in pain as you see blood spit out from the mouth, and you see a blade tucked into the chest. That's all you see.
No.
Ymir, Velu. On the ground, on a knee, white fur, just breathing. Shield on the ground, sword kind of still in the hand, kind of pushing off of the ground. Wait, no. And there's a moment where you look behind and you see Nathaniel. Blood spattered from the mouth, covering the mane of a Leonin friend of yours. And you kind of look immediately down and see that there are 3 or 4 other knights on the ground who are unconscious or maybe dead.
Do
You
I
have a
do I see the
sword.
person?
Yeah.
Do I
Yeah,
see the person in front of me?
a sword is sticking in you. There's a Furbolg face that points directly at you, like with a nose and collar and rough cheek of red. The dark face kind of is also elongated by pointy ears that go to the back, and piercings of like tusks and bone that splinter out of the lips. You see a collar. There's a kind of this vest that appears above them of like armor, like a lighter armor of chain, and looks at you and points, eyes darting into you as you now hold the sword in your chest.
What the fuck are you doing?
As the sword is within you, he kind of like points and kind of pushes deeper. It's like, that's so easy. He just pushes a little deeper into your chest. I need you to roll initiative.
Okay.
And we'll come back to you at that initiative. Ymir, you see that moment pass.
Hello, where are you?
18!
Thank you.
Mir is not moving. He is just staring at the sapphire and constantly saying his name while also looking at the footprints that he left.
Okay. Father Cruz, Mimosa, and Idris. You see the convulsing of Cornelia and kind of there, just eyes rolled back and just moving. Father Cruz, in your divine sense, you can't tell any type of like effect of what this is. You don't know if they can hear you or anything, but they are breathing. It's just rising and falling heavy, the twitches of the fingers and the eyes rolled back. The other portion of this, Mimosa and Idris. While Father Cruz is to a knee and focused, you guys notice something as well. This is a perception check. Your DC is 15.
Cool.
Perception?
Perception outside of Father Cruz.
Bruh.
Ah.
Whoa.
10.
It's too
Oh,
late.
wait.
It's go ahead.
Oh.
What were you gonna say?
I will guidance. Wait, what was both of you rolled? Did you both get under
12.
10? I'll guidance Mimosa.
I have 10.
Roll a d4.
3.
You just hit 15.
Yes, sir.
It's almost too late for you to notice this, but as Mimosa, you send the lights out to the parts of the room as they glow. You look at Father Cruz, and you notice that he has no shadow.
He's gonna look around and see if everybody else has a shadow.
You do not see anybody else in the room with shadows.
Mimosa's gonna just tap Idris on the shoulder and point that out.
Hmm?
You don't have a shadow.
She's gonna like look down for mimosas.
No?
You don't have one either. What is going
What?
on?
What happened?
Father Cruz, you...
Carnelian and
Yeah, Father Cruz, you take notice of this as soon as they say it. And as you take notice of this, your divine sense goes off.
What do I sense?
You sense something moving through the walls and towards you guys in their house. It's technically undead.
Do I know where it is?
You sense it immediately behind you, and immediately behind Mimosa, and immediately behind Idris.
You see something, Father? I'm looking around.
Just add it to the pile. Whatever it is, it's in the walls.
As it,
Mimosa's gonna pull out his warhammer.
as you
the
guys
walls.
start
Not the
looking
walls.
around, Father Cruz, a apparition appears behind you, Mimosa and Idris, all at the same time, and
What's
as it
an appar-
occurs, like something of presence emerges in your spaces. As you all quickly turn, you guys see the sullen silhouettes and shadows of yourselves currently like reaching out to you and just trying to grapple and take you. I need you all to make strength saving throws.
Oh,
Okay.
no.
This is when Bongo
21.
enters, by the way. The door swings open, and Bongo, like, kind of just stops. Just, like, is staring. None of you, I don't know if any of you see Bongo right now, but just for audience purpose, Bongo is watching.
18.
5.
18, 5, and then for Father
21.
Cruz. 21. Okay. Father Cruz and Mimosa, it takes a moment as you feel like the density of this shadow kind of like emerging and convulsing you. You see the shadow trying to tear into your mouth and like pull and like dive inside of you in a way. You both resist this. Idris, on the other hand, you shudder as the shadow kind of overtakes for a moment, and you feel like you cannot control your body. Idris immediately attacks Mimosa.
Oh no.
Wait, hold on.
I need you all to roll initiative. Idris, you can roll your initiative.
A 5.
30, 20.
30, 20.
12.
Okay. As the shadows push off of you, Father Cruz and Mimosa, they go back into the walls and try to leave your spaces. You both have reactions to try to do anything about this. Otherwise, Idris is attacking you right now, Mimosa. Idris, I need you to roll a hit and melee attack just with your claws.
Can I try to
Ooh,
grab
thanks.
my shadow?
You could try. Be a strength check or a athletics check.
Okay.
5.
5. Okay. You miss. Mimosa, you feel Idris's resistance in like trying to hit you. Idris, you're conscious and you can like see everything that's going on. Like you do not control your body right now. You can
But can I talk?
You cannot. As you feel your mouth tensed and shadows basically being over like as you go to speak, you see shadow and dark just like kind of escape the mouth, and no words are mumbled.
Can she scream?
You don't. You try to scream, and all Mimosa would hear is just wind. You hear it in your mind, though, for sure.
Awesome.
Mimosa, you look at Idris, eyes completely covered in black. Body is wrapped around in dark tendrils completely, and is clawing at you, and you see like muscle fibers like tensing of like almost like a gross type of resistance that's almost breaking of the arm. Mimosa, you dodge, just kind of like shoulder dodging it out of the way, and then you take notice of your own apparition behind you. Father Cruz, make your athletics check. And Mimosa, we'll talk about yours in a second. 15. You go to grapple onto whatever it is, and you notice that the hand just pierces and tucks away from it, like it goes straight through. You don't feel a grasp onto whatever you held, and it disappears into the wall. Mimosa, the same thing's happening for you.
The shadow just poofs.
It just poofs. Well, the shadow is still there, but it's currently going back into the wall, but it's leaving your range.
Mimosa is not even gonna bother going after the shadow. His eyes are locked onto Idris.
Yeah, you see like the mark as like Idris's like body kind of like twists. You see the mouth and teeth grit, and you see a mouth opening, but no sounds come out of it. It's just dark. Anything you wish to do?
Oh, is it my turn now?
It's still a reaction. If you want to react in some way, you have reactions that you
Can I grapple her?
You can't grapple Idris. That's going to be your action. However, the one leaving your space, this shadow, you can do it for that.
No, I don't care about my shadow.
Okay. It disappears into the wall. Nothing else you can do at the moment. Top of the round, we're doing two things. First things first, Ymir and Carnelian. Ymir, I need you to roll an animal handling check. And this is not for you. This is actually for Bongo. We're going to figure out how long it takes Bongo to get back to you.
18.
18. Bongo will return immediately. As soon as he sees everything going on, he like flutters over and flies immediately, lands, and just like his hands are on his head, and he's like jumping up and down, and he's like pulling on your shirt a different direction.
I can't leave. I cannot leave.
He climbs up your shirt and smacks you. He like makes those eyes.
Okay.
And he's like still holding on your shirt, and you just run.
Lilu, just live, okay? I'll be back.
Yeah, you rush. And you're still confused by what's going on. It's going to take you one round to get back to your friends. If you go full dash.
Ymir's going to pop Frostwalk.
Frostwalk. Just immediately, you pop that as an action. You don't get the full action dash and run, but you do get that little extra distance this round. But as soon as you dash on your next one, you're zooming. You won't make it back this round, but you will have increased speed on your second round to maybe do something with a bonus action when you get there. Okay?
Okay.
Cool. Also, Carnelian, walking around into the mists of the shadowy world you're in, your mind tethers on the idea that you are locked behind something. And as you keep walking, it's endless. The flowers continue, but it still decays behind you. As soon as it leaves the vision, you see the decay occur from your footprints, and also just the range of extent. Something is profound, but it's also memorable, and as you take your steps, you can't help but remember something in your history. I need to make a history check.
Oh boy. 21.
Excellent. The dark becomes cold. Before it was still, but now becomes cold. As it's a chilling embrace. As the reminders that rely before you in this intelligence, this history, you know where you are. You're in the Shadowfell. And as you kind of like turn the eyes and look around, the first thing you think about is like what hid in the shadows after you. And you immediately turn your head to your right and you see something cross behind you and rush and then scatter and skitter. There's a moment of like pause as you notice where the skittering occurred. The same path of flowers is decayed, but it's gone in the distance now. The history that you remember is an oath.
Yep.
You think about it in your head, and as it goes, the fourth stanza sticks out in your mind.
Okay.
Which would be the fourth, like, call of your oath.
Yeah.
You have an action, bonus action, and movement.
Okay, 1 second.
Mhm.
Can I summon my shadow?
No. You try to release incantation, and it doesn't come through.
I guess I'll, Carnelian will, oh fuck, like, I guess Carnelian will, he'll close his eyes and start walking around, just in a random direction that he feels pulled towards.
You move and you pull in that direction. The decay happens once more, and as you kind of turn your head, there's something present with beyond this fog now, but you don't feel in danger. You feel followed. Now you're starting to feel
I'd
paranoid.
go towards what I feel followed by.
You turn. As you kind of walk towards the same path of decaying flowers, eventually it does stop. And as it stops, you see that there's like a shadowy like figure standing there, and it's not moving.
I'll grab it.
Use your action to grab onto it.
Yeah.
You grab on. As you grab onto the hand of it, or whatever it is, it's humanoid in form. You grab onto it, and you're shot forward kind of in a moment, and the shadow just looks, and you flash again to back to where you were before without the shadow as you grab onto it. That's not what needed to happen. You feel as though you are missing something as this round ends for you and Ymir. Next up is Mimosa.
I'm grappling Idris.
Yep, you grab onto Idris. You grab on. As you grab on, you notice that tendrils still lurk and like kind of tether around the body. Idris's eyes are dark and shadowed. Shadow coming from the mouth, fully engulfing. Idris looks strained and has tried to hit you.
As Mimosa's like holding her, he's like trying to open her mouth to see if she'll like puke it out, and like he's completely silent during all of this, like eyes wide.
You attempt to grapple. I need you to make an athletics check first.
Okay. I'm rolling that with advantage. Nat 20.
Natural 20. You grab onto Idris directly. Your hand goes past the shadows that are kind of engulfing him, and you grab onto Idris's wrist. And you have a firm grasp on it, like onto Idris. And as you feel it, you can feel the pulse of Idris's like fast pace.
Say the last bit again.
Their pulse is rapid. Like it's going very fast.
Okay. Can I open her mouth?
Like
Heimlich maneuver?
You've successfully grappled, so I'll allow you to try to like pry and open the mouth or something. And as you do, you kind of look inside, and you can see like the inside of Idris's mouth. But as soon as like there's like a scream of voice, Idris, your mouth is being completely forced open by Mimosa with like big like dragonborn claws right now. And
Meaty claws.
you're not resisting, but it's also resistant because whatever it is not like it's being grappled right now technically. So like it's currently just being manhandled. And Mimosa, you look inside Idris's mouth, you don't see anything. However, in like cough and breath, you notice that like there's just a moment of muteness that comes forward from Idris.
Can I like have one of my little lights just like float over and like shine into her mouth?
Yeah, one of these small lights comes over just as it moves and shines in. All you see is the dark tendrils that surround on Idris's body and nothing really inside. And Idris is still like kind of eyes glowed over and still resistant to your grapple.
He's just gonna hold on to her. He doesn't know what else to do. He doesn't want to hurt her.
Okay. After you, Mimosa. Velu. The blade withdraws from your chest. And as it's withdrawn, the person steps back. Now, who do I have the pleasure of speaking with? Is this one of yours? One of your lackeys? Man. The West Continent really knows how to send them. Whooshing on in.
Bella looks at him, and this is not a normal smile that he usually gives. This is a smile of having some sort of ego and having much more intelligence than this fucking stupid little shit. And he's gonna say, it's alright if you don't know me and you think I'm one of his lackeys, but he's actually one of mine.
Don't.
And you're not gonna disrespect him like that.
The hand comes up and like grabs onto your legs, like, oh no. And you kind of like push him off for a second. It's like, well. Who would have thought that the rogue would come? We've been expecting something like this, but who would have thought it'd been just as easy to go target the help? You see one captain standing on the side of whoever this is, and that's Captain Vel. This is the same captain that was in Solaria and was like messing around with the area. You take a look now, Velu. You are outside the city, maybe a mile out.
Oh.
And as the blood is dripping from Nathaniel, you're looking up at this person. This furbo does not look like the other one. This does not look like Captain Bill. This is a different face. It's a memorable face. I need you to make a history check with advantage.
Okay. It's gonna be a 16.
This is Prince Wei. This is what all those warnings that were posted in multiple cities and warrants were. The same thing on the posters. This is the Prince of King Dueling. This is his son.
Oh. This is that's his son, or that is the king?
This is the prince.
Oh, that's the prince?
That's the son of the king.
Oh, shit. Velu's gonna look at him, and he's gonna say, "What are you doing here? I thought you were supposed to be dead."
He like pulls on his red beard. His sword's still pointed out with your blood that's now trickling down and dripping onto the sand. And he's like holds the blade out. He's looking at you, and he's like, "Well, my captain here said that he was outnumbered, but who was I to know? And then I find these guys on the outside. Their camp meant nothing. It was so easy to sneak up on them while they were all sleeping." And you see that the blade drops a little bit more, and getting up and standing now and holding onto like their ribs and like holding where their chest where they were supposed to get stabbed. They see that the stab has not happened, and they grab onto their blade and start to move forward and stand by your side. They speak. It's like, "You've taken out my men, and you've taken my pride. But this is not the end. You'll pay for what this is, and I will end you." As he like holds out the blade, and like the blade kind of crosses the other blade, and Nathaniel like holds it up and directs it. "I will protect you," and says this to you.
Thank you, Nathaniel. But I think, logically speaking, we should not engage any further than we have to, and we should probably disengage from this area. So,
As the
and then
blade's
Velu's
kind
gonna
of
look.
held, yeah, the blade's
Velu's
held.
Velu's gonna look towards the who the
This
prince.
is Prince Way.
We wish not to continue this fighting anymore, and I think you should go on your merry way.
The blade is held up to you. The blade still crosses with Nathaniel, and he just kind of looks at Nathaniel and looks at you. It's like, "You don't rule here." And he just immediately starts to go for an attack, and you see that Nathaniel jumps in the way and blocks it with a sword, ting, and just holds it there and just pushes you out of the way. You see the Captain Vel is now rushing towards you. It's your move.
Velu's gonna magic missile to
You see that the
Yeah.
captain that was in the town is like rushing you with a blade. You see that
Fuck.
you get an insight that Nathaniel may be okay because you may have saved him from basically getting like sneak attacked in the middle of the night.
Okay, so since I get this feeling that Nathaniel might be okay, he's gonna magic missile the captain
Yeah.
that's running.
You send
towards me.
magic missiles out. What level do you cast it at?
I'm casting it at level 2. I want this bitch to die.
You just send them out. Just like these different like magical surges immediately hit when he like stops and just takes all the hits. He's already bloodied because you know his like he's basically like at a half point of his resistance and he keeps charging forward at you. The prince and Nathaniel, I need you to roll a d20 for me, Velu. This is a contest for their wits in battle. They need
7.
7. Okay. I'm gonna roll this in the dice roller for you guys because that seems just.
Also, do I roll the damage of the spell?
Yes, please.
was so confused whenever you didn't say that.
I just assumed you rolled the damage already because it auto hits.
11
What did you roll, by the way?
for the d20.
Yeah.
7.
I rolled an 8. I rolled it in the
Great.
stat roll, but the you see that the fight between them's not going in Nathaniel's way. He's being kind of overtaken, and there's like a cocky laughter happening from the prince's side as you've basically been pushed to the side and like are engaging in this own combat, and you're hurt. You are, as you send the missiles out, you see that Prince Wei and Nathaniel are like fighting, like dueling fighting.
Okay.
The captain attacks you. Okay.
Is there any chance that Velu could have also done Blade Song?
I would say you already cast Magic Missile, so
Okay.
you would have engaged combat earlier if someone noticed you trying to do something.
Oh, okay.
It's all good. Does an 11 hit?
No, no, it doesn't.
The blade kind of goes to the side as your shoulders turn and dodge with a grace. As you notice it fall to the ground, another attack comes. That's a 17.
It doesn't.
It's gonna be a 6. 6 slashing.
Ray.
As you take the slash, you take notice of like the blade and like this blade that they hold onto has more power than this actual captain has.
Is there any way that I could have cast Shield as a reaction?
Yes, you absolutely could have.
Thank God.
In casting shield, you do not take the 6 damage, and arcane glyphs appear. The different visualizations of your shield as basically like a triangular form like emerges from one spot, cuts out in like a triangular prism, and like blocks and from the moment where it was going to attack, and it just surrounds you and kind of orbits in your presence.
Okay.
And he like just kind of like spits on the ground and just readies the blade again. That's the end of this one. Father Cruz and Idris. You see Mimosa has grappled onto Idris and is like kind of like investigating them, throwing the light nearby. And Father Cruz, your eyes and presence is on Cornelian, but you also know there's something still lurking around.
Is there any shadow out, or are they all on the walls?
You look to the right, left. You see where like the lights are pigmented, and you see that the light doesn't allow you to see anything in the dark.
And can't see shit. Wait, I got my glowy sword. Does that not help?
As you raise the glowing sword, it pierces through the dark and just makes light in the area, and you don't see anything within the area. I need you to make a Arcana check.
23.
As you wave the sword, the magical like aura of the sword glows. As it glows, you're noticing that shadow disappears from other things that may have shadows in the room, and you're now getting the sense that whatever this creature is actually goes invisible when there's light present. You don't get the sense that they're like dissembled or like scattered. You actually get the sense that this makes them harder to see because of the light.
Super, there's no idea where they are.
Everything's bright in the room because Mimosa has sent out all of the dancing lights in the room, and basically the whole room is lit up, so it looks like no one's in the room until it emerges from the walls. And you're just kind of standing there and looking like paused. You can hold an action. You can...
I'll just hold my action until they appear. But can I use my bonus action?
Sure. What would you like to do?
I want to cast Thunderous Smite on my sword. No, on my axe.
For sure. As you kind of like your hand gracefully covers over the pommel of your blade that's kind of pushed down into the ground. Electrical shock leads from the fingertips and charges into your axe. You have your Thunderous Smite ready, and you hold your action.
Red.
Top of the round, Ymir. You rush in icing skate over towards the house of Father Cruz, and you go to the door, looking inside. I need. Does Ymir get easily scared?
He's so scared he can't even speak right now.
Maybe.
He's speechless.
You might be muted, my dog. Or not here right now.
Nimbus.
All right.
Nimbus,
I'm here.
Okay, you're good. You've ice skated over to the front door of Father Cruz's home. It's a little bit of jar, and you're seeing kind of light and shadow moving around. Would you say Ymir's easily scared?
No.
Okay. As you move into the room, the strobing lights are occurring. As you see the torches flickering in and out of like being lit up and being not, you see dark like shadows kind of overtaking the torches in the room. And you see Mimosa, Idris, Father Cruz, and Carnelian all on the floor convulsing with their eyes rolled back to their head.
Ymir is. Can I make like an intelligence check to see what the best? Because he wants to cast light, but he doesn't know if that's going to be effective.
Make an Arcana check.
Okay. That's dirty 20.
Dirty 20. As the room, you see the shadows are covering light, and you're looking around, and you're noticing that people are convulsed on the ground, and like the torches are being flickered out by like you're not sure if it's a magical darkness or if this is like something else. But there are 4 torches on the wall, and each torch has like magical blacky stuff, kind of like preventing light from going throughout the rest of the room.
Wait, how much light is in the room?
For Ymir's perception, he sees 4 torches that are being like snuffed out.
Well, wait,
And-
listen.
Yeah, I know. Mimosa it's flickering for Mimosa. Father Cruz, Mimosa, Idris, and Carnelian are all on the ground shaking, convulsing with their eyes rolled to the back of their head.
Ymir is going to enter in, seeing this scene, already shocked from what had already occurred with Velu, and he's pissed. And he's going to say, "We do not have time for this shit." And he's going to cast Prestidigitation because Prestidigitation can flicker
Yes,
and light.
it 100% absolutely can. Intended, maybe not. But as the presentation goes out in the room, a fire of purpley, like magenta, pierces through the different, like, shadowy figures that are now, like, you can see now illuminate as you see silhouettes of Idris, Mimosa, Father Cruz, and Carnelian covering these torches. You see their faces and just their faces as it's trying to cover the torches. As the fire illuminates, I'll say if you want to burn meta magic to like enhance this presentation in any type of way, you can
I
light all
shall.
the torches. You can ignite all the
And-
torches.
As Ymir snaps his fingers, he's going to burn 2 meta magic points and say to the shadows, "Get the fuck off of my friends.
The
I need to
purple
save them."
flames lick. As that occurs, your turn ends, and we move to Carnelian. Technically, you're happening at the same time. Carnelian, you're standing here, and the shadows kind of like fill the room. You see fiery purple flames occur on the flowers.
I'm good now. Like I'm back.
No, you're still standing in
Oh.
this dark, shadowy area, and purpley flickered flames are now appearing on these white flowers.
I'll investigate it, I guess.
You see the flames lead in a direction that is similar to the same direction of where that creature was once at. And as you follow these purple flames, you notice that that shadowy figure is in purple flames.
Okay. I guess I'll investigate the shadow.
The purple flames illuminate facial features. This is not your echo. This is you. And you're standing there in front of your own silhouetted shadow. And as you went to touch it, you notice that nothing happened. But you realize in looking at your hands, in looking at the dagger on your side, there's a different feeling that you now kind of overcomes you as you kind of like grab onto your own skin and notice that the shadow and darkness has been blocking the actual colors that you've been able to see. As your skin is not black and furred, it's white. And your mind sits as you wonder what is going on in the mind of yours.
Okay. I'll say this. I can assume that I'm supposed to use my dagger to attack this shadow, but Carnelian does not want to use his dagger whatsoever.
I know.
So, I guess I'll investigate further of other ways to deal with the shadow.
Make a investigation check. Or if you use intelligence, you'll have a couple more options, but they'll be more general.
Oh, I'll do intelligence then. 15.
15. Attacking the shadow seems like the most guided decision as far as your mind first goes to. With the flames flickering around it, these purple flames, you get the sense that Ymir has some type of presence here because those flames are familiar. So you have also a feeling that light may have something to do with it as well, but you don't seem to have control of any type of magic in this moment. So you may have to rely on your friends, if not for you.
Lights seem to help in this situation.
It seems as though there's a type of something is occurring that you feel as though is being interfered by from the outside of wherever you are. You kind of like grasp in this moment that Ymir is with you in some way.
Okay. I mean, I guess I'll just watch and follow my shadow around. Unless I feel that you said before, do I feel the need to attack this as
You
best
feel like
course of
that's
action?
you feel that that's the best course of action, even though it's the course of action you do not wish to take.
Okay, I mean, like, I'll try to use my claws on it.
As the hand goes to grasp, you find yourself disappearing and reappearing once again in the space you were before, away from your shadow.
All right.
That's the end of your turn. Back to Mimosa. You're holding on to Idris, and the shadow is like convulsing and turning. It's at this moment, Mimosa, Idris, and Father Cruz, that you're noticing that the lights that have been sent out, Mimosa, the lights that are now kind of flickering on and off, this nightmare that you guys kind of are in, there's purplish flames appearing where the torches once were in your room.
That's certainly changed.
No, you still are holding on to Idris and grabbing onto them. Actually, Idris actually gets to go. My bad. Idris is trying to break free from your grapple. Idris, can you make a athletics check against
Yes, of course.
Mimosa's athletics, or acrobatics against Mimosa's athletics?
Oh, acrobatics.
Acrobatics.
Sure.
And then Mimosa, you need to roll
Acrobatics.
Huh?
23.
23. Roll an athletics check, Mimosa.
Oh god.
Your DC is a 23.
26.
Oof. Contest of a lifetime. As Idris, there's a moment where the eyes and shadow kind of create a space between you and Mimosa just pulls you in closer, and shadow kind of disperses in that moment, and it still tenders and like twists around you. You take 7 necrotic damage. Just straight up, like it's siphoning stuff from you.
Is she like looks like she's in pain?
Idris looks like they're weak. As bones, or you see like their fingertips are becoming more like thin.
Is it my turn?
Not yet. Idris, I need you to make another strength saving throw at the end of your
Over.
turn.
Sure.
Or end of its turn.
Or 8.
8. Do not succeed. You still are under a possession, if you will.
That's too bad.
Unfortunate.
This is gonna take forever. If it's like stuck on strength saving throws, I'm gonna be stuck here.
I know. Mimosa, you can do something with your action if you so desire. It is your turn at initiative 20, but it is technically in tandem with some layer actions, quote unquote.
Mm-hmm. Mimosa's just gonna keep on holding on to her.
Yeah.
And he's finally gonna start speaking. Idris, I don't know what to do. I'm sorry. Just hold still.
Yeah. As you're like holding on, you're kind of looking up and you see like the purple flames kind of like igniting into the room. You don't know like what that means, but you see 4 individual flames from where the torches are in the room just ignite. There's a vibrance. Yeah.
Mimosa's just gonna look at Father Cruz. Father, I need you to help her.
Well, what have you done?
I didn't do anything.
Have you tried beating it out of her?
I don't want to hit her.
She's going to die if we don't do anything about it. That's the only thing we haven't tried.
Moses is gonna stare at him, frowning. I can't
use his held action to throw his axe at the torch.
Yes. You pick up the axe, you kind of toss it like up, similar to how someone would like heave a rake upwards, or like try to like basically like imagine you're holding like a very long like stick, and you like throw the stick up and grab it at the very bottom of it, and then you just hurl it at the wall. As you hurl it, you see the and as it pierces on one of the torches, immediately revealed to your right, Father Cruz, is one of those shadows, and you see it just screeches.
Like, dies.
It doesn't die, it just screeches, and now it is appeared. There is a actual like shadow that is standing there, and is a shadow of Mimosa. Technically, wasn't your turn, but I allowed you to use your reaction to do so. So your reaction hits, this screeches. Mimosa, you see the shadow of yourself standing next to your father. And his action to do so, to make it appear.
That's my held action.
Yeah, that was your held. I'm still on Mimosa. Mimosa hasn't done anything with their action yet.
Mimosa, he's actually gonna like make his way to the door. He's just gonna try to leave the house.
You try to
with,
leave the house.
The lights following him.
You grab onto the door, and the door won't open. It just is locked. It just can't. Like, you try to shake it up and down, holding onto Idris, and just it won't move. The handle breaks off. pushing like
Okay.
shoulder into the door, can't move.
Can he try opening his own door to like his room?
Rushes over, grabs the door again, lock just shuttered. Make a wisdom.
Oh, we're so good with those.
It's a wisdom check.
5.
Why did you lock your fucking door? Like, why would you do this? That's all you're thinking about in your head right now.
He's just gonna like, while holding her, he's just gonna be like ramming
This is
into
the worst
his
case
bed.
scenario because you see Father Cruz knocking torches off the wall, which scares you.
Oh yeah, bro is just he's just kicking the door, having his lights surround him, tweaking.
The lights are illuminating you and also Idris, but you see Idris's eyes are rolled over. Father Cruz is now taking out lights in the room, and you're panicking. At the end of that, Mimosa, you take... Actually, you don't take any damage. Instead, I need you to make a strength saving throw.
Okay. $25.
25. Again, Shadow tries to grab onto you as you see kind of like an immersion of like a shadow of your own father just try to grab onto your shoulder. And for a moment, it's nice, and you think it's Father Cruz, and Father Cruz like yells out to you that it's not him. And like as you turn, the shadow dissipates and goes back into the wall. And that's it for Mimosa. Velu, it's your turn.
Here. Also, I didn't use my bonus action last round. But I just
You did
used
not.
it for Blade Song. But I use it for Blade Song.
I'll say because that
Okay.
round is past, that it's too late for that, and it's already your next turn, so you can use it now.
I mean, I tried to use it, and you said no.
In an effort of casting a spell with Magic Missile, you sent the spell forward, and also used your reaction to get to that point. You recharged, used your reaction for shield. In bonus action for that, there are effects to that cause for your magical spells. So because you had cast 2 spells prior to that, and then kind of already had your reaction spell, I wouldn't be able to allow you to use your Blade Song, but you can use it now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I use it.
Yeah, you use your Blade Song, and immediately you become this different figure and form, moving swiftly, and you have a distance from this person. You're not 5 feet within each other. You have about 10 feet of space between the two of you. He has not fully engaged you like 5 feet. It looks like he took a hit at you and took a step back.
Could I do? Could I do? Let's see. I don't know what to do actually. I'm going to do. I'm gonna throw an Melf's acid arrow at him.
You send a acid spike of magic towards the target. Yeah.
I'm gonna roll.
Mm-hmm.
Please. $23.
Hits.
Thank God. He takes 9 acid damage.
Hurt. They kind of like take it immediately to like the armor, and you see it pierces and melts through some of the armor on their chest plate, and they immediately grasp onto their furbolg like skin, and like where it bubbles and broils, and he like immediately turns to his prince and looks over. It's like, Prince Wei! Just shouts to him, I need you to make a d20 roll.
Don't you run away, you coward.
It's still your turn, but this is more of like a This is just while it's happening. A
Nat
20.
20.
A natural 20. A 7. You tell me what happens to the prince. What in the shouting for his prince, what distraction occurs where Nathaniel gets an upper hand in the battle? Basically 2 upper hands right now.
2 upper hands? Distractions?
Yeah, basically what has happened right now, Velu, is like this captain has turned the attention of the prince away, and Nathaniel has an opportunity to gain the upper hand twice. Right now they're down 1, and you basically have given them an upper hand. Like they've gained 1 and now they are up 1. So what happens? Like what's the altercation between the 2 when the prince gets distracted? What does Nathaniel do?
Nathaniel uses his he's gonna do a multi attack.
Yeah.
On him.
Yeah.
Wow, he's distracted.
As the prince looks over and like his teeth are bared, it's like, what? And Nathaniel's like, got you, and just immediately like slashes with his sword, and his claw comes out with another strike, and he kicks into the chest of the prince, and he just gets knocked backwards onto the ground, picks himself up, picks up his sword, and just they charge at each other again. He like smiles and grins as he kind of like just looks over in your direction. He doesn't say anything to you. He doesn't want to distract you. You still have a bonus action and movement. Oh no, you used your bonus action for the blade song. You have movement.
Can I? I'm gonna just go 20 feet. No, 20 feet to, I guess. No, 10 feet behind, like 10 feet walking back.
Yeah,
like,
you walk back 10
himself.
feet. Okay, you get about
like
20 feet away.
But I'm also trying to be like close.
Yeah,
not too close, but at least into distance with like Sir Nathaniel in case something happens.
You break the distance between the 2.
Okay.
And you kind of stay there and also keep a perceptive distance and making sure that he doesn't get doubled up on by this captain.
Also, is it the end of the captain's turn?
Captain hasn't gone yet.
Okay. Okay, let me know when it's the end of his turn because he needs to take damage at the end of his turn.
For the acid arrow.
Yes.
It is their turn now, right after yours. They rush forward again. They move 20 feet to get into your space, and as they do so, they take their blade and they immediately go to just slice it across. You don't have a weapon to defend yourself. They're gonna slash twice. A 2 on the dice. That misses. That's cocked. I rolled a 2 again. Okay. 2 blade swipes go completely wide again, Velu. How do you tell me how Velu is like projecting these attacks and how the dodges are like subliminal in the space, like how they are bending space. What magical effect is happening around Velu with this blade song to where the attacks are missing?
Oh, so there's usually his magic is kind of like black. So there's this like black particle that just comes out and just like kind of like weaves, like forces Velu to like weave, like sidestep, weave, sidestep, weave.
It's odd and bizarre because it's almost like gravity bends as well as you move, and you see that there's like a motion of like warpness in that space where the blade tries to hit, and it just pushes it out of the way.
Velu smiles at him, grinning. Your attacks are missing.
Should have stayed there and ended you all. And he just kind of rears back. He steps there, and at the end of his turn, he takes damage.
Okay, I rolled the damage, and he's gonna take 2d4. He takes 3 acid damage.
So close. There's a grit in the teeth of like acid spitting out from the same injury on the skin, and he grabs it again. It's like, Prince, I don't, and just like acid comes out the mouth. It's a moment, and the prince is not focused on him. He is fully focused on Nathaniel, and they are fighting with one another.
I guess you're gonna die to me, aren't you?
He like grits onto the teeth. and doesn't say anything. He just is within 5 feet of you and engaged. At the end of that, it's Father Cruz and then Idris following. Yeah, and Mimosa. You three are in the room, kind of figuring this out all together. Father Cruz, the axe is like embedded into the wall. You see a shadow next to you. It's your turn.
How far is the axe?
Like maybe like 12, like 15 feet away. You threw it from like one side of the room to the end of it. Like you were basically standing in the center, and it's a 15-foot distance away from you. So it's you got to walk. You can walk over and get it. You're not leaving the space of the shadow if that's what you're worried about.
Okay, yeah, I want to get it, and then I want to attack it.
Yeah, you grab it off the wall, break it off of the wall. As you break it off, you notice that your wall doesn't have any damage on it. But you go and attack.
Huh.
18. As the strike lands true, go ahead and roll damage.
Is this thing an undead, right?
This is an undead.
Okay. That's great! I'm gonna do, and then I'm gonna use the smite. 23.
23. It bursts in radiant light. Tell me what happens to the shadow as it bursts and basically destroys.
As soon as the axe goes into its giant forehead, it just explodes. Like a flash grenade.
As that occurs, bright light fills into the room. Ymir, in this moment, you see one of the torches where you were flickering the flames, that face of Mimosa disappears.
Okay.
You see a bright radiance from the light, and the light now burns true like magenta and bright white.
What's my turn on initiative, by the way?
Your initiative turn is top of the round with
Okay.
Carnelian, which will be there shortly. Idris, you are going to try to break free again. So roll a acrobatics. Mimosa, roll an athletics.
Whippy.
Yahoo!
16.
$23.
Can't go nowhere, Idris. As the tearing goes into you once again, you take 2 necrotic damage.
Say that again, I'm sorry.
2 necrotic damage.
2.
Siphons. As Mimosa is basically holding on to you in that moment. Yeah, Father Cruz?
Drew's gonna gesture to torches at Mimosa.
Mimosa's like
run away.
Mimosa's like shaking on his own door, trying to get it open, and it will not open. While also like kind of like football carrying Idris.
Torches, Mimosa.
What do you want me to do with them?
Take them out.
I'm not doing that.
I've gotten rid of one of them, Mimosa. We can kill them.
Will it be okay? Will I be okay?
Yes.
Okay.
And Father Cruz, you still have a bonus action and some movement if you want to do some stuff. Idris will go with you in a second.
Mm-hmm.
What can I do?
I'm just here.
Mhm.
I'm looking. I'm just gonna thunder smite my thing again, and then. I
You
don't
already,
know.
you already used your action to attack, so your Thunderous Smite,
It's a bonus action.
yeah. So you can just hold the Thunderous Smite, and then on your next turn, action. Try
No,
to hit
it's
something.
you enchant your weapon with it every
Mhm.
bonus action. So
Yeah.
I have to. That's
So
what
you,
I mean.
yeah,
So
you
I used
enchant.
it.
Yeah, you use it, and now it's enchanted with a Thunderous Smite, ready to go.
Huh? No, that's a different thing. Wait. No, I guess that's only the first time I use it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's the first time I use it. I get an extra D6 or 2D thing, so that's why I have to bonus action and chance it again. But use it. That's what I meant. Okay.
Yeah, so you have it ready for your attack, was what I'm saying. So, like, your Thunderous Smite is charged into your weapon, and on your first hit, it will go off. That's what I mean.
I know I used it when I attacked the shadow.
Yeah, you're recharging it. I understand.
Oh. Alright.
Yeah. The charge that hit into the wall and destroyed whatever it was, the Thunderous Smite rang out from whatever it was. Idris, I need you to make a straight save throw at the end of the turn.
8.
Still overtaken. Top of the round, it's Ymir and Carnelian. Ymir, your turn. You are in the room. You see one of the lights has purged from the wall. You see Idris, Mimosa, and Father Cruz still on the ground, like pulsating and moving. Carnelian as well. What do you do?
Are the silhouettes still showing? Like
The one of Mimosa disappears.
And I see Carnelian's.
You see one of Carnelian. No, sorry. You see one of Idris, Mimosa, Father Cruz, and Carnelian.
And Mimosa's gone.
Yeah. So yeah, the Mimosa one's gone.
Okay. And how close are the Idris and Father Cruz ones?
They're like just equal distances between the walls. Like imagine you're in a square room and each of them are in a corner.
Okay, so they're not 5 feet away from each other.
No, they're separated. And Prestidigitation reached out to the area and like tried to ignite them all, but it looks like there might need to be some attention made. Ooh, excuse me.
Ymir is gonna focus his attention on Carnelian and lift up his hand, and I hate this spell. And he's gonna cast Sacred Flame on the silhouette.
You just cast it. The flame moves forward. Let me see. The flame pierces into the shadow and starts eradicating it. However, it does not leave. You just see that it's making it harder for the shadow to contain whatever the light sources that you have. So the light burns brighter. I want you to also make a not wisdom. It kind of is it's a medicine or an insight, but it's really hard to tell because you're actually focusing on Mimosa.
13.
13. You get the sense that you're not really defending against these, like you're not really helping the friends out more than you are preventing Mimosa, because you see Mimosa's body is contorting. You see Mimosa's hand is like breaking itself, and you see that Mimosa's skin is like peeling, and you see like a dark like ichor that's now pouring from like the back like brace of like his scales. His eyes are tearing up and black ichor's falling over the floor. It's becoming sludgy where Mimosa is, and you get the feeling it's too dark in here.
And I haven't made enough light. And the light that I'm making,
the one light that came on has helped a lot. But however, the one that you're like working on right now, it hasn't snuffed anything out. Like it hasn't like gotten rid of whatever that shadowy thing is. It doesn't seem like magic worked here.
Can I look around for any kind of like items to help make light?
You can use your action for. What can you do?
I already used my action.
Yeah, use your action for the Sacred Flame. Man, I'll allow you to make an investigation check to see if there's anything that you can use. But I don't. Yeah, try. You can try.
18.
18. You see your friend's weapons and like equipment that are on them. Like you can try using something from like what they have. You kind of like see Idris's instruments, their bangles. You see Father Cruz's axe and his like holy symbol. You see Mimosa has his hammer and also like a doll that kind of like has fallen to the ground.
Ymir is gonna run over to the holy symbol, and he'll just pick it up and be like, I don't really know what Father Cruz says in these moments, but God, can you take these shadows away? And
Make
that's
a.
his turn. Oh, religion check?
I was gonna say make a religion check, but I also want to say make a persuasion check. I think it's more
I'm
persuasion.
better at those, for sure. 17 plus 7.
In the persuasion of it all, a different voice comes through, in like a response. The voice that comes through in presence is piercing and dark, and says, "Things will be as they are." It doesn't say anything else.
That's not helpful.
It's not like sinister in any way. It's this wisdom you did not want.
He just throws it away. That's his turn.
The amulet falls to the ground, and you're just like staring. And the Bongo's currently like giving like chest compressions over to Idris. Like they're fully like chest compressing Idris and like kind of looking at the face, like kissing on the Idris's face and like breathing in air. That's the end of Ymir's turn. Cornelian,
Hello.
again. You are within the space. You see, you still see the magenta flames flickering your path.
I mean, I'm not gonna do much about it. I think I'm kind of just waiting here. I'll just watch my shadow and how they interact with the environment around that changes.
Nothing really moves. It's very quiet.
Yeah.
You just
I
kinda
guess
stare
I
at the
am looking away.
flowers, and your hand goes across it. Your hand, now that you know its complexion and skin, you feel disgusted, maybe. You feel dead. You feel not yourself. Out of your own body. Something
Okay.
has taken a hold of who Carnelian is. And you don't even know what you are. As the thoughts kind of rush into your head, you wonder what would compel whatever it is that now holds you. And you think about your friends, the people you met, and you start to wonder if those things start to fade if you spend too long. The moment you sit there, the shadows that are within that radius of you, those fogs, the flowers is the only bright thing in this room. This area, I mean. But the magenta flames flicker and disappear into that foggy distance. And you know it's beyond your sight. As on your side, a dagger lays, and feeling onto yourself a bit, a wound.
Where on my
On you.
where? Okay. Yeah, I mean, Carolyn doesn't really do anything else for his turn.
It's the end of Cornelian's turn. After Carnelian, it is Mimosa. Cruz and Idris are there as well. You're holding on to Idris. You have the hammer in your other hand. You see that Father Cruz has purged one of these creatures in some way.
Not wanting to like break his father's wall, he's just gonna go over to one of the torches and just like throw his entire back into it to snuff it out.
It's a little high up. We're talking like there's a 10-foot ceiling,
Oh,
probably.
up! It's like I
It's
didn't
like it's
realize
up
they were
in the
that
corner,
high.
yeah.
Okay, well then he's just gonna. I guess he's gonna knock it down with his warhammer.
Yeah, you just knock it down. As you knock down the torch, it hits the ground, still aflame. It didn't cost you an action to do that. You just kind of interacted with it. It's on the ground and still kind of like charred and burning still.
He's gonna stomp it out.
You stomp it. As the stomp occurs, you look over on Idris, and a bright shine of brilliance kind of like pierces from Idris as your eyes come back. Idris, you're no longer possessed, and the shadow splits you two. Mimosa, Shadow, and Idris. Both of you are flanking this shadow in between that screeches out. Ah!
He's gonna immediately let go of her.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you have to let go of it because there's a creature that interjects between you two.
Can he like swing at it?
You've already
As
used your
it's
action
bleeding?
to get the
Oh, okay.
torch out, but you're present within it.
Nice.
And it's just tweaking.
Yeah, it's just screeching. You can see it though.
Oh, can he like move over to Idris?
Yeah, you can maneuver yourself to Idris' side.
I already used my action. There's not much I really else can do.
Okay. At the end of Mimosa's turn, I need you to make a strength saving throw.
I'll do that.
Actually, yeah, it is yours. It's only you who are going to make strength saving throws at this point. Strength saving throw, Mimosa? I don't know if they cut.
Fun. Dead.
They died.
Rip.
They lost. They'll be back.
So sad.
I know, it's okay. As they're making that strength saving throw, we'll just cut over to Velu.
Yo.
Sorry, I don't know what happened the past couple minutes. Once food came, the DoorDasher called me.
Oh.
Make a straight save.
You make a strength saving throw.
Oh, okay.
Throw strength.
Throw your
Yeah.
strength.
Throwing my strength around.
Yeah.
Throw it in a circle.
23.
Yes.
Again? Holy shit. Again, something
Oh
tries
my
to take a
gosh.
grasp of you and just can't. Mimosa too big.
The only demon that can give me is the one inside.
Exactly.
Well.
I'm already taken.
I'm in a committed relationship with my demon.
Velu. It is your turn.
What's it looking like?
You are wounded. The creature person in front of you, this Furbolg captain, is wounded grievously. It seems as though Nathaniel has the upper hand in the battle. It's going well, but you are a little weakened. You know that you're basically on the cusp of what is potentially like either being successful in your duel with this person or potentially failing depending on the circumstance. So it could be 50-50, but it looks in your favor right now.
Okay. Balu's gonna like hold out his hand, and he's gonna cast Magic Missile.
What level?
1.
Level 1. Missiles come out. Roll your damage.
If this motherfucker doesn't fucking die, I'm gonna lose my shit. It's gonna be 8.
8. As the damage hits, tell me how this captain falls to their knees, and like how do you knock them down before the final blow?
So, since there's 3 missiles, one's gonna hit his stomach, one's gonna hit his back, and before the final one the final one hits his head and explodes his head, he's gonna be like, Balu's gonna smile and grin. He's gonna be like, well, I'm happy. The last thing you get to see is me. And then the magic missile just goes directly to his head and it explodes.
The magic missile shoots like a beam towards this creature, bending and warping around. As it hits, the head should explode. I need to roll a con save. The head explodes. This dude has only rolled 2s and 1s. This guy sucks. The captain, you see their resistance of being able to pop back up to 1 HP basically when they hit 0. And you see that moment of like resolve as they were going to pop back up. But as the last magic missile hits and strikes, you see that their constitution fails them as the acid boils them and their eyes kind of flicker over back to their prince. And they just like look up at the beam coming towards them. For the province. And just like it blows and splatters across like the sand and just falls.
Bye bye.
He has a nice looking sword.
Oh. Balu grabs the sword, and he's gonna go help Nathaniel.
Yeah, you grab the sword and you're rushing over. That's going to be the majority of your turn. You have a bonus action if you want to try doing anything from a range.
Let's see. My bunny action. I guess there's nothing I could do with it.
Okay.
That's the
Okay. Had me on the edge.
Sorry.
Roll d20. You got to beat a 17.
Please. A 17?
Mm-hmm.
I got a 8. I'm just kidding. I got a 6.
6. In rushing over, the burst of blood happens. Nathaniel looks over at you with eyes that are like piercing on the battle, and in that moment of triumph and success, he smiles and like roars out a mighty roar. And in that moment, his blade is like pushed to the side. He's slashed across the chest, and the prince grabs him, pulls him into his ear, whispers something, pushes him away, and you see that the prince just looks over at you and smiles. That's it. And you rush forward. At the end of that, Captain doesn't get to go. He dead. Father Cruz.
How far away are the people with things?
You see 2 more torches on the walls. You see Mimosa's engaged with one of these shadowy creatures. If you want to go and help him. Otherwise, the other side, like the other wall, has 2 torches that are still like, they're brightly lit.
Okay, so Mimosa knows that Cruz knows that there's a torch for Mimosa, him, and Idris, but who's the 4th torch? Is Carnelian even here? Where's his shadow?
Make a intelligence check. I don't think this is a Arcana, so I'm just gonna say it's raw intelligence. It's not a high DC.
12.
You look at the torch that is not like all of them are brightly lit when you first saw them because the room was filled with light and there was no shadow. Carnelian's eyes rolled back. You see that now with the light gone from the walls, you see that Carnelian has shadowy tethers attaching to him, and all of these shadows come from Carnelian and rise up from the ground in those positions. So you see one tether from Carnelian's like convulsing position over to the shadow where Mimosa is fighting. You get the feeling that these shadows are tethered to Carnelian, but you get the sense that the light itself that you're taking out is just an effect of whatever Carnelian might be proposing out there. So you get the sense it's originating from Carnelian.
Does this mean that Cruz can sever the tethers directly?
You can try. How do you want to try?
I mean, it's just what, like, shadows on the ground, but like with mass?
They're actual shadows, yeah. They don't have masks or anything. They're actual shadows, and then they just rise up in their positions.
Oh, if they're shadows on the ground, that means that they could. I don't know. What happens if he just attacks the ground?
Just gonna smack into like wherever the dark is.
I guess.
Sure. Just roll to hit.
I'm not gonna use my axe. I'm gonna save that.
Are you sure?
I don't like that. Fine. You know, fine. I'll get peer pressure.
I was just asking.
22.
22 hits the ground for sure. Your initial damage of the axe does nothing. However, the smite damage that you pierce into the ground affects the shadow of which it is attached to. And you see the shadow that Mimosa is like hitting as smited, and that radiant damage, or sorry, the damage from your smite affects it. So you can roll the damage for that.
8.
8. Okay. It's still up. It's definitely like has like kind of like motes about it that are disappearing and fading, but it's engaged with Mimosa and Idris. And you notice that when you hit the ground in that position, your normal damage with your weapon does nothing, but the magical damage or the smite damage that you performed has had some effect.
That's great.
Anything else?
It
did not sever any tethers, by the way. The shadow is still relatively there.
How far away are they?
Mimosa and Idris are maybe like 10 feet away from you. Like the room's not that big. Like they're engaging the same wall you're engaging. So you guys are on the opposite side of like this house and need to go to the other side.
I'll wait for it to attack.
Okay. You've already used your action to attack, so you can't hold an action. But yes, I understand what you're saying. Moving from your turn, Father Cruz, it is Idris' turn. Idris, you can act in your own accord.
Oh my gosh! Finally.
You cough from your lungs being sore from trying to scream, and Mimosa is currently like between, like next to you, and you both are facing the shadowy figure that was basically enrapturing you.
Can she stab at it with her rapier?
Sure, make an attack.
Yippee. 18.
18 hits.
Fantastic. 3 piercing damage.
You see the rapier go through and the shadow kind of like pierce through. You don't get the sense that this has done any direct, like, it doesn't make any sounds. So you don't know if it's affected it or not. But you are within 5 feet of it.
she's gonna kind of look around. Let's see here. What can I do as a bonus action?
Oh, by the way, also, Idris the Shadow looks like Father Cruz.
That's so scary. Okay. I'm gonna give, as a bonus action, I'm gonna give Mimosa Bardic Inspiration.
Okay.
Who's
Woohoo.
Sick. And can she also move back? Is that okay?
You may take an attack opportunity if you
Listen.
move.
Okay, I'll hang out. I'll stay there. That's
Okay.
fine.
Awesome. You hang out. You inspire Mimosa. Mimosa looks like inspired. And from the end of your turn is now the top of the round again with Carnelian and Ymir. Ymir, you see one of the torches go. As soon as you throw the holy symbol away, you see the symbol that is covering of Idris's face disappear.
Okay, perfect.
You only see two left.
Still lost. Can I just assume now that taking out the light would just be good? Like it's fine if I do that.
I'll allow you to make another intelligence check to try to figure a little bit of it out. It's your own little puzzle separate from what they're doing, so it's not necessarily the same. 19. You investigate the room. They're still convulsing on the ground. It's a lot of panic that kind of goes through in Ymir's mind. It's kind of static, and Bongo kind of like goes and like grabs onto you and like kind of like holds you, and just like also looks scared. As soon as like that kind of realization comes through, you get it, and like it snaps in your mind. The shadowy faces, are representative of something blocking light. So if light were to be like kind of put in those areas to get rid of it, it would help. The sacred flame worked for a moment, but then it didn't stay and linger. The prestidigitation is magical flame. You need natural light.
Okay. Ymir is going to run over to from what Ymir knows, doesn't Mimosa have like light materials?
Yeah, for sure.
That are,
They
like,
have torches and like
natural?
equipment and stuff. Yeah.
Ymir will take out a torch
Mhm.
and he'll light it.
Yeah, you light it, and as that
Okay.
occurs, you do so. I won't say that's your action. I'll say you're just interacting with this moment. If you want to interact with one of the torches on the walls, you may.
He's still Frost Flooring, so he's fast, and
Yeah,
he's gonna like he's just putting Frost Floor all over the
Yeah, it's
area.
cool. Just slicking around. Some of the bodies are kind of like moving as you're moving around.
He'll go to the last two flames
Yeah.
and shine it over them.
You can interact with one of them directly. You wouldn't be able to interact with both.
Does it look like the source of this darkness is coming from Carnelian, or would Ymir not know that?
Ymir, you don't see any difference in the room.
Okay.
You just see that your friends are there.
Then Ymir will go to Father Cruz's face.
Yeah, you just go to Father Cruz's and you hold the torch up. And as you're holding it up there, the flame starts to flicker, and natural flame starts to engulf the torch, and the shadow just slowly just like flickers off for a moment, and then eventually just dissipates. On Father Cruz and Mimosa's side, the shadow that's between Mimosa and Idris, the shadow starts flickering with flame below it, as you guys just kind of look at this creature that is currently like flickering, and for a moment you pause and see that it is like engulfing and eventually decays and flickers up and is gone. The shadow tether that was between you guys and Carnelian is gone, and then one of the flames on the wall is snuffed out by itself. Just there's only one torch left.
Finally figured it out. Woo!
You did something.
Goodness.
As that goes, Carnelian.
Still just kind of sitting around, really. Not much besides like looking at the shadow, watching how the shadow moves, not interacting with it in any way. If it moves around, he'll follow it.
You don't see it. Like you haven't engaged with it yet. Like you kind of have stayed where you are and you haven't walked towards that path
I'll
towards it.
go
So
to that then.
yeah, you move in that direction. Again, you see the shadow. However, you see purple flames that lick it. You see on the ground beside it, you see ash. Like burnt ash of fire. There's no active flame. You just see ashes that now surround it instead of the flowers that it once stood in. It looks like it still has that flick of flame around it. It looks ignited with radiance as well. And as you kind of go walk around, you see your form more presented and illuminated from that shadow. You look at yourself, kind of like a mirror image of you, even though you don't like you're looking at your own face, and the face is covered with like these darkened, like shadowed spots that kind of devoid the characteristics of Carnelian and instead just engulf it with silhouette. There's parts of you that are returning to its form. However, you still feel some resonance of being tethered here. You don't feel as though like your bond is breaking in this moment.
I mean, I'll still kind of just idle around watching. I can see that something's changing, so I don't need to really do anything.
Your heart kind of pounds in your chest a bit as you're worried about the outcomes of what could be. In making no decisions, you kind of isolate and watch. Make a perception check.
11.
Hard to see anything. It doesn't move. It's almost like looking at a wax statue of yourself.
Mm.
You're not sure if it's real.
Okay.
However, this is very lucid if you are dreaming. In moving from Carnelian.
Wait, I have a
go-
question.
Go ahead.
Bongo's on my turn, right?
Bongo can interact on your turn, yeah. If you command him to, he's staying out of any like type of like action, but he is like he was trying to do stuff for like the people on the ground, and he kind of came up to you on your turn and just kind of looked at you for like help.
As Ymir is like extinguishing one of the shadows, Bongo, do what I just did. Grab a torch and shine it there on the last one.
Go, rush forward. Bongo climbs up the wall, shines the torch on it. Same thing. Of the flames build and flicker for a moment, and eventually the shadow disappears. In Father Cruz, Mimosa, and Idris's turn, one more shadow appears from the center of Carnelian on the ground, emerging in a flicker of flame. There is not there's shadow, but then there's white fur, and then there's kind of a poise of feminine like trait that follows after as it emerges from the chest of Carnelian on the ground. And Carnelian, you need to make a death saving throw.
A death
Aw.
save?
Yes.
Okay. I'll roll it here. 9.
9. You fail a death save. Carnelian, you feel your chest pound hard. You stand there in the field of roses and you feel like that fadingness as you look at the shadowy form and you see that your skin, your hand is returning back to black. Like you're white, like tethery, like what your presence is changing. and you are maybe assimilating back into yourself, and it feels like okay, but you don't feel lifeful. You feel drained of like life. You feel empty as the heart pounds heavy just once. You feel something stealing from you.
Okay.
So you are conscious in this area, but you do feel as though whatever it is that's standing there, like in front of you, shifts that form. The same place where you have grown to back to your what would be your normal self, you see it has now assimilated that white fur.
Wait. Like I'm in the room with everybody else now?
No. You
No,
are
okay.
still
Still in my field.
you are still in this voidal area. This thing, this humanoid form standing in this field of like ash now, was once you, but now you're seeing the limbs of this creature turn white in fur and changing in form on this first saving throw.
Okay.
You're noticing that it's assimilating into a different form, and you are also assimilating into a different form.
Okay. I understand.
And the first death save hits. At the end of all of this, Father Cruz, Mimosa, and Idris, you're no longer in initiative now. Ymir, you see that the bodies have not awoken yet. But they are no longer convulsing. Their eyes rest, their bodies go like pale, and for a moment their eyes just close instead of roll to the back of their head. Everything just goes still in the room as the lights are bright. Mimosa is also not moving. They're no longer spilling black ichor from themselves. They are just there.
Ymir is gonna fall to his knees and he's like,
After
we
that,
did it, Bongo.
after that, it is Mimosa's turn. Actually, I'll say Mimosa, Idris, and Father Cruz can share the same turn.
Okay.
You have some dialogue here. The presence steps from the shadow, and it has parts of its form revealed. White furs from the hand, legs, and it starts to form itself into something physical.
Mimosa immediately is gonna put himself in front of Idris.
What is that?
I don't know.
Who? Idris is going to like kind of shy away, and with Mimosa like standing in front of her, she shrinks behind him and just hides.
White fur of similar nature to Carnelians or yourselves. It just kind of reveals feet similar to this form of mammalian like paw, hands with claws. It's similar, but it's different. You're not sure if this is carnelian, you're not sure what this is, but it does take a presence of form of shadow similar to something of your dreams. And Father Cruz, you see this as well. Something's physically taking form of this shadow, and you see that carnelian is no longer convulsing.
Do I hit it? I'm like 5 seconds away from hitting it.
Not yet. They're just still gonna ready in action.
What would you like to ready in
Idris
action
is gonna
for?
poke.
I guess to grapple it. If it
To
comes alive.
Okay, so grapple it if what happens? Like, what do you mean? What do you mean?
It moves.
If it moves from its position, you want to grapple it.
Yeah.
Okay. And is anybody else wanting to do anything from you three?
Mimosa's gonna ready an action to hit it if it moves in Idris's direction.
Okay. Idris?
She's not going to prepare an action, but she is gonna like poke out to look at it a little more closely. And she's gonna ask, What are you?
It kind of stands there, looks down. You don't see the face. Nothing's been revealed. Basically, only the arms and legs have been revealed of this creature. But it looks down, looks up, and just kind of waits. Doesn't really respond. You speak Abyssal, Deep Speech. Which one was it? Abyssal, right? Father Cruz?
Wait, I think I speak. I speak that too.
You both speak
Oh
Abyssal?
my gosh.
Yes.
Yeah.
What a friendly
Slay.
father-son development that is.
How we picked it.
A whisper in the dark. It just says, oh, I want to make sure this is right. It just says, become the dark within the shade.
Are there any torches lit?
For you guys, no. There are no torches in the room. And Mimosa, you're actually not affected by this. And that bothers you.
Oh, so it's like dark.
It's dark in the room, yeah. All you see is the shadow that's kind of the only illumination in some way, and it's brighter than the room you're in. Other than the lantern that you sent out, but the lantern's magic seems to have faded.
What about my glowy sword?
Your glowy sword's still active. It's bright, but it's not like completely like enlightening a room.
I'm just gonna look at Father Cruz. We had to take out the torches because they emitted light. Do we do the same thing with this? Something's
No.
wrong. I don't feel anything.
I damaged the wall. When I tried to, nothing happened. I don't think this is real.
My door is locked. I don't lock my door, and I can't get
You
front door
don't.
open.
Can Cruz, like, see out the window?
You look out the window. Dark fog blocks the vision.
Cruz is just gonna touch the thing. See what happens.
Walk up and touch it. You were holding your action to wait for it to move,
But-
so
Yeah, but it didn't look like he's gonna do that.
you walk up
Can
and
Idris
use
walk up and touch it instead?
You both can do it.
You wanna
Yeah,
touch it together?
Let's have Idris touch it.
together. You try to put your hand
Yeah,
out.
let's
and-
touch together.
Okay,
Yay!
don't. Okay. You go put your hand out. Both Father Cruz and Idris, you kind of reach a hand for each one of the hands that are revealed. There's physical form to this. Like you feel it. It feels as real as holding like sand in your hand, and it as you grasp onto it, it's physical in form. It's confusing. It's lucid, and you both are feeling the same thing. These palms of like fur and mat. There's a nail and claw that pierce from the hands, and there's almost a pulse. Father Cruz, you swear you can feel something in the wrist. But it's not moving.
Can I hit it now?
I don't think we should hit it.
Where is Carnelian?
You look behind. It's basically like standing on Carnelian's body, kind of just overarching it, like V style. Carnelian's body's not moving. No longer convulsing like it was before. It's just not moving. There's nothing else you guys can
She's
really do
gonna,
on
like,
your
let
turns
go
after using your action to interact with this. The only person left with an action is Mimosa, which was held to attack if it came close. I would say that you can choose to do something else with. However, Father Cruz, Idris, unless you have bonus actions you wish to do.
You know what? Melissa's gonna go over and he's gonna grab Carnelian and try to move him
Try to move it.
away from.
As you try to move Carnelian and grab onto Carnelian's body, You feel the coldness of death lingering onto Carnelian's skin. And you also see like the eyes are no longer rolled back. They're instead open and piercing out in a direction, not making any like visage or blink or recognition. Cornelian's body looks dead.
Father, he looks dead.
Both you can make a medicine check as your action, Mimosa.
Okay. I'm so good at those.
Guidance.
You already used your action, Father Cruz.
That it's an action?
I believe so. I think it's a
I thought it was
reaction in other game in the newer version, but it's an action in 5.
9.
Man.
9. It's not looking good. There's no. You go to grab onto like the shoulder, and you don't feel a pulse from the neck.
Father, I think he's dead.
What
He's
did you
dead.
say? What?
He feels
What do you
dead.
mean?
As you
Like-
as that turn ends for all three of you, we're gonna go over to Velu. Velu.
Breaks in.
Yes, we will. Velu, you rush over. As soon as you get up side by side with Nathaniel, you guys have the upper hand, and the princess taking a step back, seeing their captains on the ground, and he just like kind of smiles. He's like, that was fun. And he kind of like holds the sword up and kind of creating a distance between you, Velu, and himself and the sword, and also Nathaniel. Nathaniel like kind of like looks at you. It's like, no, don't. He like holds like a hand out with his shield and kind of like holds a shield against you. I've come so far to find you. There's no way I'm leaving you now. Cannot risk this. He's alone. The swords kind of like pushed out to one another. Velu, you still have this sword in your hand and rushed forward. It's your turn. What do you do?
Wait. So I catch up to Nathaniel.
You've
Am I
caught
next
up to him and you're next to him. He's kind of put a hand out and saying don't. But like
Okay, so
you can do
where's the
whatever you
prince?
want.
Where's the prince?
Holding a sword out about maybe he's in a 5-5 like with him. Like they're both next to each other, and as soon as you approach, you haven't engaged in combat with the prince because you're not within like a range of melee. However, he's like Nathaniel's like holding a hand up and saying don't to you as he hears you approach. And he's like still engaged, but they're not like fighting right now. They're just kind of holding blades at another.
Back up, away from Nathaniel, or you're gonna get hurt.
Make a intimidation check.
– 17.
The sword goes and points, looks at you, looks at Nathaniel. He takes a step back. Nathaniel holds a shield tight as he looks to rear for an opportunity attack, but doesn't take it. The step back occurs. My liege, of course. I wouldn't want to ruin your fun time. Now, I'd have to say hi to my father, because this knowledge is oh so tasty. I didn't realize that you all would be lurking on the east, but this is far more fun now.
You say anything, and I will personally gut your ass. I will kill you.
The sword kind of like lowers to like a hip at this point, still out and kind of like not relaxed but tense towards the ground. Another hand kind of goes out and from behind him, and he just snaps. On the snap, a slither of a portal kind of opens in a moment as you see a similar like a necklace that the captain was wearing. You look at the captain, you look at him, and there's a moment of tether as the sword that he starts backing away a little gracefully. He starts sheathing the sword, looks at you, and says, I would never ruin this moment. After all, I'll have a ball to attend to. And he just closes the portal. Nathaniel like kind of slacks and just looks at you.
Velu turns and looks at Nathaniel. And he's like, he kneels down. Wait, is he standing up?
He's
or is
standing. He's standing.
Oh, he doesn't kneel. He's gonna be like, "Are you all right? You okay?"
Just nods. He's just the sword sheathes the hexagonal, the hex shield that he has unsummons, and he just looks in your direction. Velu, you weren't supposed to come to me. That's never what this was
Well-
meant for.
I'm not gonna let you die.
A toothy grin kind of like comes over as like he brushes sand off of him, and you see a couple swipes of sword that has been laid within. He kind of grabs onto his arm, looks at you, and says, "Go see what's on him. Go take off what the captain has. We need this. I didn't realize that they were going to be so pierced onto you. I knew I should have brought you back sooner. I didn't realize that they were on your tail already."
Okay. Well,
We're going to be leaving in the morning.
What?
He just starts moving towards his other troops that are basically all kind of down on the ground, and he's like kind of like inspecting them menacingly. You can go and do what you want. He leaves you to your business, but has sight on you.
Velu is gonna go to the captain, but also have sight maintain his sight on Nathaniel. He's gonna take to, not dig, more like just glance over the captain's body.
Make a. Actually, you don't have to make anything. This captain had the sword, and you grabbed that already. They have armor. It's plate armor. Actually, it's like full plate.
I don't grab it.
It's heavy. Just FYI. But it is
Do not.
there.
Mm-hmm.
You see on the blade that has similarly slashed at you. You take notice of Larson's dust that was not applied, but is onto the side of the captain's thing. So he has that. He has an amulet of the cure as well, the heart bleed. And you also take a notice that he has a necklace. And it has some amulet on it.
Wait, repeat that last one?
It has an amulet on his neck. Like he's wearing it as a necklace.
Can I grab it?
You grab it. Yeah, you pull it off of him. It's magical for sure. It has like some type of, attunement that's ended, and you can see that it's no longer tethered to what this creature had.
I use identify on the necklace with the amulet.
As you do that, we're gonna go ahead and take our break as your initiative is ended, and basically everybody's initiative is ended. Sorry that took so long. We ended that engagement. It's 2:30, and we started a little bit later, so that's my bad. Well, it's 2 hours and 30 minutes in. We started a little bit later. I'm gonna try my best to keep things in a good pace. Otherwise, you guys have a good. We'll say we come back at 15 minutes past. I'll give you guys 20 minutes. Sound good?
Hooray!
All right. And once we come back, we'll
Perfect.
resolve some matters. So enjoy your guys' break. Let others know if they don't know.
You're a minute late.
I thought I said 20 minutes past, but maybe I was mistaken.
20 minutes?
No, you said 20 minutes, but
Yeah, and it's been 20 months, Jacob. How
Has it
could
really?
you? Yeah.
Yes.
Wow, I was really enjoying that then. My bad.
yeah, you can't enjoy things anymore.
That's true. Not after this session, for sure.
Not anymore. Carnelian's fucking died. Look how upset.
Hey,
He's
Cornelius
literally
dying. Vilu got put into like a 1v1 crazy, what the heck? And then these everybody
yeah.
was like crashing out.
Everybody
I'm
crash out.
Ymir's chilling though.
I'm gonna start reading like puzzle books so that I can start like knowing what the fuck to do.
Intelligence
just like
sucks. Yeah. Oh, hold on. What?
it was just that sad.
What? Oh,
Yeah, he rage quit. He full of trash on him.
Okay. Everybody's here, right?
No.
No, missing one.
no.
No.
Wait, are we?
No, I'm just lying,
I'm going.
Oh, wait, no.
Ready? One by
yeah,
one.
Devin.
Cat, you here?
Yeah, Devin.
baby.
Shadow here?
Yeah.
Allie here?
Yes.
Nim here?
Yep.
Zap? Here?
No.
Okay.
But the undeafened.
I know.
Okay.
I mean, we can like talk about our feelings or something. How you guys feeling? That's crazy.
We're gonna begin. We're gonna pop away from Velu for a moment. We're gonna go
What?
straight into the rest of you who are in the space surrounding Carnelian. This shadowy form. Also, Ymir. People are still on the ground right now and not moving.
And combat has ended.
Combat's
Able
end.
to-
Yeah, there's no combat right now.
Ymir's gonna check the pulse of Idris.
Pulsing.
Is there a pulse? Okay. He'll check the pulse of everybody.
You do not feel a pulse from Carnelian.
Okay. Ymir's gonna. Can I make a medicine check to try and determine what's the problem?
Sure. Make a medicine check.
Awesome. We got, I think, a 9? Yeah, 9.
Well, the pulse isn't there for sure. The eyes are not closed; they're open, and you see that the hands. You see parts of the body where the like his guns and stuff kind of like flailed out, and you're just looking at him. His body is in a position right now where it looks like he was probably the first on the ground in this position. And as you kind of look, just with your medicine, I can give you that he looks like he's been out for like it's recent. There's still like blood that's been flowing through here. So this whatever this is recent. The rest of the party
Carnelian?
just is flat. Carnelian, you just call this out. No response to you.
I'm gonna take my scythe. Carnelian, please. I don't really know anything about medical stuff. Please wake up.
As the words come forward, it doesn't return back any message. Ymir Bongo kind of like jumps up onto Carnelian and just kind of like looks and just inspects, taps you and just kind of like shakes the head no.
Carnelian, please don't be dead.
And we're gonna move from Ymir's scene to Father Cruz, Mimosa, and Idris. You all stand there. A shadow apparates in its position, and it does not move. It just speaks in abyssal, and it is technically, Father Cruz, undead. You touch it, it has physical form, but it is still considered undead.
What do you mean he's dead?
You feel him, he's cold.
Does Cruz think that like killing this thing could bring him back?
It's hard to
Like,
say.
is it sucking at his energy?
You're trying to see if there's like a vitality like happening, like a siphoning.
Yeah.
Um,
Like, is it living so that
I want to say you can use religion for this, because I feel like this is beyond medicine. I think you're just checking like a aura of this.
it's war rock?
-2 aura.
You said religion?
Yeah.
23.
You're kind of looking at this creature that is just above it and like taking up the space of where Carnelian is on the floor, and it doesn't move to like interject between you and Carnelian on the ground, but you do start to notice that Carnelian's like vitality, where the arms are for the shadow where it's taken form, Carnelian's arms are the most cold and dense. It looks like whatever is taking liveliness has some tether to Carnelian's form as well, and it seems as though it has siphoned some type of life force from Carnelian. You don't, in your divine sense as well, you don't project this as evil. You detect this not even as good as a neutral. But the form that's presenting to you is different than what Carnelian looks like, and it makes you concerned that something else is kind of siphoning from your friend. So I don't know if Father Cruz shows fear in this moment, or if Father Cruz shows, you know, what does Father Cruz feel?
Yeah, I'd say fear. He doesn't know what to do. Could you? I mean, I have to detect magic. Would that help?
You can try. If you want to try casting and see if you see any type of magic being taking place, for sure, yeah.
Yeah. Use it all. I used it.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to see if there's any type of magical schools of magic that you may detect or something. Yeah, unfortunately, you don't detect magic. What you do detect, though, however, is you detect divination, and you also detect necromancy. You detect a little bit of both of that, and it comes from the creature. It doesn't come from Carnelian. So whatever this magic comes from, that's kind of outside of those realms, it's not originating from Carnelian. It's just originating from this thing. I'll say with your... What was the total on your roll?
The religion?
Yeah.
23. Wait.
And the other one
How
as
much
well.
is that? What other roll?
I believe you tried to use the spell magic, right?
No, detect magic.
Oh, detect magic. I thought you said the spell magic. That's my fault. You detect the necromancy and the divination. In your detect magic, I will allow you to roll an Arcana check as well, but this DC is a rather high DC. It's gonna be, I'll say right now, it's like an 18.
I'm gonna roll it in the bot.
Go for it.
That'll work. I'm gonna throw up.
You have inspiration, I think, too, is Mimosa. No, Mimosa has inspiration. Sorry.
I don't know.
Yeah, you're not sure what this is, but it has resemblances to similar life spells, like Healing Word, Wither and Bloom, Revivify. Like, it has similar natures to those types of spells. So there's something going on. You do detect that there is a tether and vitality between the two, though. That is for sure.
If you hit one, it affects the other, right?
You assume. Or you detect one is taking from the other, or one is giving to the other. So you theoretically could attack this creature, and it could stop from someone giving vitality away, but you don't know what the intent of Carnelian is, and you don't know what the intent of this thing is, because it just says... it just says the same thing. It says, become the dark within the shade, and that's all it says.
You're up, Mimosa.
Mimosa's gonna stand, and the only thing coming to his brain is to try to shove it back in Carnelian. So he's gonna like try to do that, like put his hands on its shoulders and just like push.
The shadow that has not materialized yet from this creature flickers in a sense, as when you go to try to forcefully like move it in any type of way, you feel a resistance that is not like physical. You push through the shadows, and as you go to grab onto the physical forms of it, it kind of like again like apparates, reapparates back to its position. It's not moving. It doesn't have like it has a physical touch, but the force of it doesn't seem manipulated by like a physical restraint. I will allow you to make a strength check just to see if you can overcome this, but it is a high DC as well. We're talking like a DC
Okay.
30.
I don't really think I can hit a 30.
A natural 20 basically is all you need right now.
Oh, okay.
Like, hit that, and we'll talk.
No, thank you. 13.
13. Again, you're messing with a force that is not physical in a way, so it's hard to grapple onto, and it's not a problem of like grabbing onto it. It's obviously its physical form. It's just when you try to force it, it doesn't make way. It doesn't seem to have a natural sense about it.
I can't get a grip on it.
What do we do?
Can you see if you can wake Cornelian or like heal him?
Well, whatever this is, it's taken from Carnelian. We could try to.
Take
If we give him
nullify it.
something, we'll give it time.
If we give Carnelian something, this will just take it.
But it's already taking stuff. Or whatever. I don't.
You just try to attack it. Let's try to attack the arm. Let's see what happens.
All right, roll to hit.
Wait a second. What if it hurts him?
That's why I'm aiming for the arm. 12.
12 does not hit, but yeah, I know it's standing there. It doesn't hit. You swing a little wide. Even in Father Cruz's hands, like he doesn't feel like it's the right decision, and you can see the axe wavers to the right, and it hits just the shadowy part and doesn't seem to do anything, and just hits to the ground. And Mimosa, you see Father Cruz's like vindication on his face of like concern. Does Father Cruz try again?
No. Violence isn't the answer.
Mimosa's just gonna. Can he pick Carnelian up?
Yeah, you can
He's
pick Carnelian
gonna
up.
try to move him away.
As you move Carnelian away, you see like now you as you pick him up, you see that little tether between wherever the shadow stands and Carnelian, there's a small like line being drawn, and it's like gold. You can see it, and it extends as you drag Carnelian away. It's basically between like Carnelian's chest and the chest of this creature, and it just makes it's like this small sliver in like it's almost as if someone took fishing line and like put it into the air and like put it there, and it's tethered between the two. It doesn't. You can't move. You move your hand through it. It's not physical. It's just it's there. But Carnelian does not move. With you guys all standing there, I'm gonna move to.
Idris will
Go ahead.
rush to. No, go ahead. Sorry.
No, please. Yeah, if you want to do something, do it now. Otherwise, we're moving.
Thank you. Idris is gonna rush over to where Mimosa has dragged Carnelian, and she's going to like kind of hover protectively, and she's gonna look at both Father Cruz and Mimosa, and she's gonna go, "You two deal with that. I'll deal with him."
Mimosa's just gonna nod and set Carnelian down.
Lays up
Cruz will-
against the wall.
What if light would banish? Although, can you summon any light? It's a shadow, right?
I mean, radiance?
It's worth a shot.
On the golden line? I mean, it looks like easy to snap. Magically. I don't know. This is out of my field.
Out of character, I'm
What's up?
completely out of anything Radiance unless this thing attacks me.
What if I attacked you?
Um,
Hmm. Hold on.
okay, alright, wait, okay. So, it'll take the, so, it says it'll take, Radiance damage to equal to half of what it does, but Radiance is like, it's an effect. It's a, you know, it's Radiance, like a flash grenade, it's light. Would that work? In theory? Because it's radiant,
It would only affect the attacker.
but it's a light.
It's still radiant damage, though. It's not like and it's not an extruding effect. It doesn't take away any type of like. It's not like a dispel magic or like a counter spell or anything like that. It's not the same effect. Nothing violent is really happening. And also, would you rebuke your son?
No.
I know what you're trying to do, and I get it, but I don't think. I think you guys have a lot of overwhelming like feeling right now, and I'm gonna move over to Cornelian. Cornelian, present
Hello.
in the vast realm of the Shadowfell, the flowers have wilted and all died. You kind of stand there looking at this thing, and all that comes to your mind is the oath that you have taken. And you look at your hands that have returned to you. You look at the hands of the shadow that have become something familiar, and it hurts. And you can't. That fourth stanza, that fourth one keeps coming to your head. Become the dark within the shade. It doesn't. You don't know. I think a lot of history kind of pulls in on Cornelian's past and confusion. Was it because he didn't complete the ritual? Was it because the pact had failed? Is it because he didn't pay attention and never knew? Was this something he was supposed to learn? And a little frustration kicks in, Cornelian. There's a lot of, if I was never this person, this would have never happened, kind of flowing through you right now. And you start thinking about the debt. There's a lot more stanzas in this pact that you have said, and you remember for many years of your life. What is the pact that flows through your mind, Carnelian, as you repeat it to yourself in your mind, and that's all that remains in this timelessness that you're existing in?
What do you want me to repeat it?
Yeah,
Or like
tell me what is it?
oh boy. Okay. Currently he won't say it out loud, he'll just repeat it in his mind of the
Yeah, you can't say it out loud anyways.
Yeah. Yeah, true, because I am silenced. Yeah, he'll kind of just mumble it to himself, just within his head. His lips don't really move, but he's really staring down the shadow as he does it.
You have a semblance of like acknowledgement as some of the words pierce out from your lips as you start to mumble, as you notice you're acknowledging this thing.
Like I can.
But it seems to understand. It seems to understand you as you speak towards
Okay.
it. You can't hear your own words, but it seems to speak and mumble in a way that is representative of you. You start to realize that as you begin to speak, the words don't come from you. They come from this thing. You approach a little closer. You say the words.
I'll keep saying it in my mind, yeah.
As soon as you start to think of those things, you see that it acknowledges you. Its face is still your face, and it looks at you, and you can only imagine what you look like. But as you stare at it, it stares back. And it has a dominating presence. It seems to take ownership of a room, when it stands there. You say the words in your mind and it echoes back at you. You get the feeling that you could not summon your echo or release your incantation because it was already released.
Could I de-summon it?
You want to make it go away?
Fuck it, Jacob. We'll de-summon it.
You release the hold on it. It disappears from that space. A moment passes as the last thing that you kind of hear, Carnelian, is Ymir's voice as the shadow disappears and Ymir's cry out and the echoes of the shadow fell. For a moment you get dizzy, and as you dismiss the echo, you feel fate. I need you to make another death saving throw.
Oh boy. 2.
That's another fail. The pulsating of a beat in a moment as you have dismissed your echo. In dismissal, Father Cruz, Mimosa, Idris, you will see something. Ymir, you will also see something. Ymir, you see Carnelian, like you're kind of still on them and like monitoring them, but you feel a singular beat of a heart. Just one pulse. Then nothing else. Flat. You get the feeling that this person is fighting something or whatever, and maybe what you said
Ymir-
has helped.
Ymir's gonna grab his potion of healing and just dump it down into his gullet.
Okay, you do so.
Please,
Roll the
don't die.
hit points for it.
7.
Okay.
Does anything happen?
You don't see anything immediately.
Ymir throws the glass away, and he'll fall to his knees, and he'll look over at Bongo. Bongo, could you go and check on where Vilu was last left at?
Bongo just like kind of holds onto your arm and just kind of looks at you and like an "Are you sure?" type of face,
Mm-hmm.
and just goes, leaves the area. Father Cruz,
And,
Mimosa, and Idris.
Oh,
What else would you like to do? Sorry.
as Bongo leaves, Ymir will mutter to himself, I just didn't want you to see this. And he'll run his hands through his hair, thinking about Vilu disappearing and all of his friends convulsing and Carnelian possibly being dead. And he's gonna cover his hands with his face. Why am I so powerless?
The
Cinder,
moment.
please help me.
Cinder's in your mind, watching and saying, "There's nothing we can do."
Can't do anything. Carnelian is dead.
Cinder locks in a moment, and you feel that heat feeling in, but it doesn't feel good. It feels like a heat of a dryer, but it's on a hot summer day. It feels disgusting on you as there is warmth, but it doesn't feel like earned. And Cinder speaks just a soft note. These things happen, Ymir, and this is a part of all of it.
I don't want to hear that shit. He's my friend and I care too much. And I have nothing.
No words.
Mir's just gonna crawl into a ball.
Father Cruz, Mimosa, and Idris. The tether, that golden line, snaps.
Momo's is immediately jumping the shadow.
The shadow isn't moved, but you can go ahead and try to hit it if you like.
Yes.
Hit it. Roll to hit. I mean, sorry.
Mhm. 11.
11
I
misses.
don't think that hits.
Yeah. It again shadows flicker and you fade through it again. In a emotional tether, you rush forward. Idris, you're on the wall with Carnelian, and you hear a thud, like a. But it's a little faster. It's like it picks up.
Sorry, could you say that again?
There's a small like thud of something inside of Carnelian, similar to like a heartbeat, and Idris hears this. It's a small just hit. As
I'll
that
keep
But she
saying the
immediately
chant within my mind,
you
I guess.
you keep saying it into your mind, and Idris, you feel that pulsating beat as it's starting to slowly return. Like you hear one beat, and then like maybe like a full like 30 seconds later, you hear another, and then it becomes 15 seconds, and then it becomes 2 seconds, it becomes 1 second. Carnelian, you gain 7 hit points, even though you probably were already at full. But as that occurs, the healing effects of a potion in a still time frame take longer to affect you, with you being basically outside. And as your blurred like fog vision returns, your eyes open, you see Idris holding you, and you see half returned. You see Marcy.
Where in front of me?
You see Marcy, and you see Mimosa has a hammer that's flown down to the ground. You see Marcy's face that's kind of like appealed from the shadow, that arms almost slightly formed. You look down at yourself, and you see that your arms from your hands to your elbows turn white. And you see that as you have woken up, they haven't returned to their normal selves. And you currently look up, and you see Marcy. You see someone familiar to you in like almost a physical appearance, and there's a moment of physicality between the two of you that you see for the first time. And Mimosa has swung a hammer down to hit them. You see Shadow kind of like dissolves and reapparates back together. You see Father Cruz standing next to it, and your eyes open. You see Idris holding you.
Can I instantly, like, trying to take in this entire situation of being brought back, can I swap places?
You swap places. Idris is now holding this form. All of a sudden, as the eyes open, Idris, you see a slender tabaxi, white fur, young in age, but maybe similar to Carnelian's age, but is lifeless. Carnelian, you swap places and immediately steal all that vitality back. And as you swap the places, you feel kind of this surge of knowledge, and you've stolen something more than life from whatever it is. And as you swap it, you see Father Cruz and Mimosa who are standing there. You see tendrils start to form around kind of like the arms where your hands had turned white up to your elbow, and start to reform shadow onto your arm to create your fur black once again. And as you're holding this other form, it starts turning back to shadow, and it all just forms right back into the echo it once was. Carnelian, you stand there and you feel vitalized, you feel fine. And as you're there, you get the notice of like your echo is now followed completely under your command. And there's a moment where you see all the lights in the room that are out, and Mimosa's not causing a problem. You feel like you are still in the Shadowfell.
Can I swap again?
You swap again. Yeah, you can control your echo in this moment, but you all, Father Cruz, Mimosa, Idris, Carnelian, you feel like you're in the Shadowfell still. You feel like you haven't left. You just feel like you've changed places where your actual echo was. As you've dismissed it, what you've done is you've now basically teleported to where your echo was in the Shadowfell. And now
Sorry, what'd you say, Jacob?
Basically,
Sorry.
when you dismissed your echo in one place, the other apparition of it somewhere existing, you appeared in that echo's location, which is the when you returned and you see where it's at. You're still in the Shadowfell, but you also believe that Father Cruz, Mimosa, and Idris are as well.
Can I just desummon my shadow entirely?
You do it again. As you desummon it, Ymir, Carnelian, Father Cruz, Mimosa, and Idris all just shoot up.
Oh.
Was there where awake?
Now, all of you guys reawaken on the ground.
Mimosa awaking, he's immediately gonna like grab his chest and start like looking around.
Lights.
Is there light in the room?
There's ichor on the ground, but there is light in the room.
He's gonna lay back down and just breathe.
Father
So
Cruz,
where
pick it up. Yeah, you guys are in Father Cruz's home still, but you all have
Okay.
like gotten off of the ground again. Like you basically had a double inception.
Holy shit.
Ymir doesn't notice this.
Mm-mm.
He's crawled up into a ball.
Idris proceeds to also curl up into a ball.
So where is everyone in like? So is Idris next to Carnelian and then Mimosa?
No, you guys are like completely separate from where you guys were before. Like Carnelian, you were by the couch and on the ground. Idris and Father Cruz, who had originally like come in with you and like acknowledged this thing that was happening to you, are down on the ground where they once were. Mimosa
so like
is
our
at
original positions.
yeah, your original position. Mimosa's in the doorway, fallen down, and that's where Ymir had met with Mimosa, and all of them all combined. Like basically, you guys are in a diamond formation where Carnelian's at the north, Mimosa at the south, Idris and Father Cruz on the east and west. Like you guys are just in different positions in the room from where you were just now, so it's a little twisted in your mind.
Okay. Carnelian is going to. Can I like incite myself to see if I have it under control now?
You can do more than an insight. You can do a Arcana or a Religion too. So Arcana, Religion, or Insight.
I'll go with my original insight.
Go for it.
18.
18. Something feels different about it, but it doesn't feel out of your control anymore.
Okay.
As you think about like summoning it or using your incantation in any type of way, you feel like a secondary thing unlock for you, and you feel like there's more you can do with this now.
Anything specifically?
Nothing that you can come to your mind with only a insight check. You don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, all of you guys are awake. Idris, your damage is still your damage. You still have that necrotic damage. Otherwise,
Fantastic.
Yeah, that's set. The rest of you, however, are just kind of awakening and coming to. You guys see Ymir, who is currently curled up on the ground in the ball.
Carnelian.
Mimosa's gonna slowly get back up, and he's gonna walk over to Ymir and just like put his hand on his back. Ymir?
Alright.
Ymir, is this real, right? You're like, you see me? I see.
Ymir, when did you get here?
He's breathing heavily.
Father
and he's
Cruz,
looking
you can see out the
left, right.
window. The lights are on. The door's even ajar from the front. You can see things normally.
Okay, buddy?
He's gonna look at Carnelian.
Yeah, he's okay. He's okay.
What is Carnelian doing? Is he currently just laying on the ground, or like has they gotten up?
No, Carnelian's gotten up, is pretty overwhelmed with all the different shit that just happened within a span of.
For
like,
you, Carnelian,
le-
it feels like hours. By the way,
Oh god. Okay.
this has been an hour, like 2 hour, 3 hour long endeavor just within the realm of the Shadowfell. For Father Cruz, Mimosa, and Idris, this is maybe like 30 minutes or to an hour. Ymir, these is seconds. This is like just happened for you.
Okay. Yeah, Carnelian will definitely be getting up cautiously. He'll quickly like pat himself down, feel his guns on his sides, grab his guns firmly, and he'll kind of be looking down at himself, looking around at everybody else, seeing that everybody else is like alive. I was gonna say the word okay, but okay is not the word to use here. They're
Ymir
definitely
hasn't-
alive.
Ymir hasn't stopped staring at you. He's only looking at you right now.
It's at this
Yeah, I
point,
mean-
Bongo comes into the room and just kind of looks around, eyes wide, just like staring, like ooh, 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 looks at Ymir and just runs over and just shakes you and points at all of them.
Vilu's gone.
Huh?
He's gone. I don't know. He disappeared. I don't know. Ymir's gonna get up and run out.
Wait.
You see Bongo, who's like trying to do charades to you. If you want to interpret what it is, you can make an insight check, I guess. Ymir.
Did Ymir just like run off?
Yeah, he
Yes.
ran off. He's not.
Who's gonna
really
follow
looking
him?
good.
Yeah, Bongo's like doing like charades to like try to convey a message, and like Ymir runs off. It's like, and just puts his hand on his head.
Mimosa's gonna move to Idris and like put a hand on her shoulder. You okay?
No. Maybe. I don't know. She's going to like rub her temples and like sit up. And she's gonna like blink around and she's gonna like point. And she's gonna go, "This is real, right? I'm not like crazy. This is like we're here. And Carnelian's not dead. And
No.
Ymir just ran out crying. And
It's all deja
this
vu
is
for
real.
you.
This is real. I think. Feels real.
You think?
But
Cornelia
I'm not the
will,
magic person. I mean, it feels real.
Cornelia.
You can pinch me, or do you want me to pinch you?
Cornelia will take his claw and like slice a bit of his forearm.
Yeah, you do. I mean, you feel your own body. You feel the pain of like your claw that could dig in and definitely do damage. Like it doesn't. You feel okay. It's you're concerned about what is past, but you're more concerned about your friends being involved in that. And you kind of look over at them, and they seem to have been like brought into whatever this was. And
Idris is
just
going to
kinda look.
tap her cheek. Idris taps her cheek, slap me in the face. Not like super hard, but like enough to hurt.
He's gonna lightly slap her.
It hurts.
Idris is going to stand up almost immediately, and she's gonna turn on Carnelian and point at him, and she's gonna go, "You didn't die, right? You're not dead. You're alive, right?"
Cornelia will like raise up his forearm of him like slightly just bleeding. I think I'm good.
I'm also gonna stand, just kind of
You
look at
think?
Cornelian.
I think you're all right.
I want to know, but I don't want to know.
I don't really know myself, to be honest.
I guess we
And-
can say we have a little bit of that in common.
I thought you knew about stuff
I
that
mean, I do. It's just like I don't know about all of it. I try not to. It's not a good topic.
We're gonna.
It just like shudders
yeah.
involuntarily.
There's a lot going on. We're gonna leave you guys at it, unless Father Cruz, you have anything that you want to acknowledge.
I'm on with Ymir.
Ymir rush. Oh, you went with Ymir. That's right. You followed Ymir. Okay, you both are out. Actually, I'm just gonna go to you two straight away because Belu has some stuff that they need to care of. But Ymir and Father Cruz, you go look around and rush. Ymir, Father Cruz, you're just going back to the same spot, Ymir.
Mm-hmm.
You rush to the same spot, and the dust is like covered over where the prints were. And Father Cruz, you're slowly behind. Not slowly behind. You're gathering up on Ymir, and you see he's stopped in the alley.
Ymir's immediately gonna fall, and tumble right next to the where the prints last were, and he's gonna punch the ground. He's gone. I don't know where he went.
How long ago did you?
He's gonna take out the sapphire. I don't know. There's so much going on. I don't even get it. Nothing makes sense. Velu.
You say Velu, and you look at the image. You see Velu, who is currently looking down at the ground. Their eyes are like kind of filled with like tears in a way, but also like in shock. And you don't know if it's because they're still or if it's because that they are like surprised by something. But they are alive. You don't recognize anything else. There's no like depiction of location or anything. It's just presence of them.
I don't know. I'm not sure anymore, Cruz.
By the way, I need you to roll a D100.
Okay. 10.
Wait, hold on. Oh, wait.
Mir dies instantly.
No. The sapphire cracks a bit. Still haven't chosen its form. It's starting to go beyond its ability.
I thought when I say their names, it doesn't get used.
You are recognizing that there are more than just the two things that you have found. There are other means of magical items, and when you create something magical, it can be used in many ways: charges, spells, enhancements, etc. You get the sense that this has more than the capability of just enhancing spells, but you feel as though you may have made a magic item by accident. But it has charges, and it's exceeding some of those. It's not destroyed, though.
Alright.
But you feel like you are using it in a way that's not intended.
I'm just gonna sigh. I'm just go silent.
Did you see him?
I don't know.
Couldn't have gone far. We'll find him.
I don't know.
Why don't we go look for him?
I can't.
And why can't you?
I can't move my legs.
You want me to carry you?
He'll shake his head. I think I'll just stay here.
I think Philo would be a lot happier if we found him together.
He lit up like a fucking light bulb and vanished. I don't even think he's anywhere near here.
Well, if you don't want it to happen, then it won't. But I want to find Velu. And I believe that we can. And if we don't look for him, then we'll never find him. Don't you want to say that you tried?
Here, we'll get up. And he'll wipe his face. I tried enough. If he comes back, I'll be here. But I think it's pointless looking around. I don't think it was invisibility or anything.
Hmm.
Ymir, you do remember the face that Velu made when they got pulled away. They were afraid and also, like, willing. So it's a little scary. But
He
You kn-
wanted that.
yeah.
He wanted it?
Someone had some sort of contact with him. That's what I felt, and he wanted it, and then he teleported away, and then the stuff with you guys happened, and you guys were spazzing out like you were gonna die, and then Carnelian was dead, and there was just shadows everywhere, and then now you guys are just up, but he's still gone, and my sapphire cracked, and I'm pissed because I can't do anything.
Well, what would you need to do? If Velu wanted it, then that means that he could obviously come back. That we just have to wait for him to come back. You don't always need to do something or be able to do something.
I do.
Well, why?
Because most of my life I've done nothing. And then people have to come around and help me. I'm tired of it.
You're not so bad, is it?
It's
Just really-
terrible. You always have to look up at somebody. No one ever has to look up at me.
Well, I look up to you. You care about Velu. You got us to find him. Or got us to come help.
Don't know. I'm just gonna sit back down.
I'm gonna
I
go
can't
ahead
check him.
and in you guys' moments here together.
Yeah.
I have to stop you because there's like a couple of like passings of like individuals, and I need you both to make perception checks.
Nat 20.
Okay. Ymir, do you want to make a perception check?
Yeah. 16.
Different sights for different people. With your 16, Ymir, the first thing you notice is that the crowd is dwindling as the night goes on, but also you take notice that some people are kind of like looking into the alley and kind of looking. There's guards that Father Cruz you appointed, and they see like two people in an alley. You see someone on the ground. Father Cruz, you see your guards, and then also you see someone who's like trying to get your attention, Father Cruz.
Cruz will just sigh. I'll be right back. This is what always you need to do something gets you.
Hmm?
I'm saying that to Ymir.
No.
Ymir's gonna remain silent.
Father Cruz.
Yes.
We detected some activity outside of Solaria. There seems to be some type of scuff or scrap, some foul play. We've spotted a couple of people out there. Looks like most of it's died down now, but there are two individuals, a couple dead bodies, and we want to make sure that you were aware that there was some type of activity going on. We can go investigate that. And we were going to send two of our men, but wanted to confirm if we should be involved in that or not. It is a little outside of our town.
What do these perpetrators look like? Is it the furballs from before?
Well, one of them looks. They had some resemblances of the same demeanor, but they weren't wearing any of the. I didn't want to assume that they were the same people, but they weren't wearing any armor per se. They seemed roguish. We're furbolgs though, so maybe we should have pieced that together. I didn't want to make any assumptions, but they were fighting. And there's also a Leonin, white in nature, albino type. There's a human. Couldn't make out much more detail about that. They were fighting with swords and magic, and it was quite the spectacle. And most of us were a bit nervous to go get involved, but it was quick. It was a couple moments before everything just kind of ended. There are a few down. We can go help them if they seek shelter.
Yes, we should attend to it. Ymir, you hear that?
Ymir didn't follow you.
Yeah, you're just
I'm
kind
like
of
5 feet away.
They're
I'm like 5 feet
at the
away.
front of the alley, and you're like maybe 15 to 20 feet away. Ymir, like they're not being like quiet.
A human with magic, just like you wanted.
Yeah. Let's go check it out.
Is everything okay in here? What happened?
Nothing important.
Just kind of
Let's just
allows
focus
you
on the
to-
now.
Kind of just nods. It's like, very well. We'll point the way. Follow us. And there's two individuals just kind of lead you. The secondary individual kind of like looks at the both of you. It's like, you two are the ones that saved the town. And of course, we know Father Cruz, but like, we haven't really talked to you. You've been. Anyways, let's keep walking. You guys follow them to the outskirts of town. We're gonna Velu. And we'll maybe wrap up soon too, just for players' sake. Notes later.
Identify.
Yep. Your identify goes off. What do you want to identify first?
Amulet, the necklace that has the amulet.
This is an amulet of the plains.
Okay.
While wearing the amulet, you can attune to it. You can use an action to name a location that you're familiar with while on another plane of existence. Then make a DC 15 intelligence check. On a successful check, you cast a plane shift spell. On a failure, you and each creature and object within 15 feet of you travel to a random destination. Roll a d100. On a 1 through 60, you travel to a random location on the plane you named. On a 61 through 100, you travel randomly determined plane of existence.
Okay. I'm gonna stash that in my little backpack. Can I identify the? I think it was the amulet.
You just identified the amulet.
No, you said there's two. There's the amulet of. Hold on, let me look. The amulet of the cure.
Oh,
And then you said there was a necklace with the amulet.
No. It's not an amulet. Sorry, it's a what's it called? Antidote.
Antidote. Okay.
The Heartbleed antidote. You already know this.
Yes. Okay. Is there any other items that I find?
I mean,
on
you pick
the
up.
body?
They have full plate armor on, which is not magical by any means. It's also damaged from your acid and a couple other things, but maybe could be fixed. You see that you took their weapon.
Is that magical?
You can, you throw it into your same identification circle. The blade itself is I'm trying to think of a best way to describe it in a way that you can visualize it. You kind of You don't understand the languages on it, very much. I don't think.
What language is it?
It's not Sylvan or Common or anything you're familiar with.
Okay.
But there is a language like inscribed on the blade, and it's also a little older looking. The blade, however, is a what's it called? It's similar to a claymore, but the claymore a claymore would have like a very large hilt. This is a hiltless claymore. It just has no guard on it whatsoever, and it's very heavy to hold.
Oh.
It's useful in its swing and attack, but it's similar to the countenance of a greatsword. This is Giant Slayer. That's the name of the blade.
Giant Slayer.
It adds a +1 to attack and damage rolls, and when you hit a giant with it, the giant takes an extra 2d6 damage of the weapon's type and must succeed a strength saving throw or fall prone. For the purpose of this weapon, giant refers to any creature with the giant type, including Ettins and trolls. And theoretically, also Furbolg.
Oh. Interesting. Is there any way Velu can pick it up?
Yeah, you can pick it up fine. Like, there's not a...
Oh, okay.
I think you're not proficient with it, but it doesn't, like, the strength to pick it up isn't something that's an issue for you. It's just a little bit bulky. It's not really something you're finessely using.
Yeah, Velu does not intend to use it.
But it is a very nice sword.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna walk over to Nathaniel.
Nathaniel's like currently like putting like copper coins on the eyes of the bodies and like rolling them down. He puts hands on some of them and says like whispers, and as you approach, he stands up and takes a knee.
You don't have to do that around me.
He stands up. You look different.
Haha, you're so funny.
That's not what I meant. You look...
Oh.
Anyways, my sendings reached you. It was easier to track you that way. I apologize for the candidness.
It's okay. Do you need help with the bodies? Rest in peace, your soldiers.
I would like to take them back, but we are very far off. And finding some type of way to get back home may be impossible. We'll have to find some type of planar travel to get back. I know they have maybe Halavar or Oracle could help us with that.
Well, I found an amulet that maybe we could use.
That would,
or you could use.
either way, does not. Going one at a time and using this is a risk, and bringing them back to their families is important, but we must move forward. Anyways, Velu, you've been away. My sendings sometimes don't reach you. And I understand that you've made your decisions, but I have my orders now. And you knew this would come.
Bella's gonna scratch his head. No, I didn't know. What do you mean? I did not know.
Your responsibilities. You can't run. And now they demand you to come back.
They can demand me as much as they want.
Think about your mother.
Not coming back.
She's worried. And all I can say is that sometimes I reach him.
Well, I'm here in front of you, so you could tell my mother.
He puts like
that
both of his
I'm
hands on your
fine.
shoulders, and for that I am grateful. But listen, you're needed. There's war. There's
War.
not now, but threats.
Oh.
The Delicians. You've seen. If that brings forth some, you can be captured, and that could raise. There's so much danger of you being here. Just, you need to come. We need to go back.
I don't think I can.
Don't be dense. Think about what is important.
I have, I guess, right now, I have a little group, and I said something horrible to two of them, and I think it was racist? Question mark.
What did
and
you
then,
say?
Oh, anyways,
No.
and
Tell,
then
tell me what you said.
no, no,
It's unbecoming of you.
no,
Tell me what you said.
no, I didn't mean it.
But say what you have said, Velu.
I order you not to ask me about this ever again.
Make an intimidation check with advantage.
I think it was a +4. 23. Let's go.
He winces for a moment as you see the summoning brand that marks your guys' bond burns bright. And he just kind of winces for a moment. He's like, I don't like it when you do that.
I'm sorry. I just don't like being questioned.
And I don't
Why?
like having to follow you for weeks, months, years. And here I am.
Well, you don't have to.
I do, because there's orders greater
You
than
don't.
yours.
But no.
Now, you'll take me
Anyways,
to where you're staying. We will commend these soldiers who have fought valiantly for your safety, or traveled many days and nights for the belief in what this stands for. We will discuss this, but you will be returning. How we're going to do that, I do not know, but we will.
I don't know about that, but we'll see. We'll see.
Don't
We'll
make
see.
this difficult. We've already
not gonna
been
make it
through so
difficult.
much, and you already see you're. It's dangerous to be out here. Obviously, we need to move. And as you guys are as he's kind of looking out in the distance, you already see a couple of individuals moving towards you, Velu. You see two guards followed by Ymir and Father Cruz, and you see currently, actually, in a moment, Father Cruz and Ymir, you don't hear this, and Nathaniel looks over to you and whispers in your ear, "Do they know?
Do they know what?
Do any of them know?"
He whispers, "No."
Okay.
You are going to act like
Your name is
you're-
Velu.
Yep. I only say that, and you.
You guys approach.
Fuck.
The guards show and
Hey.
say, "Here," and oh my gosh, and just kind of looking around, there's a headless fucking furbolg on the ground, a bunch of dead other soldiers with very familiar armor. Ymir, you can make a history check on this, and Father Cruz as well. You can make a history check on this for the armor itself, but you do see
Isn't it
Velu
just-
standing there.
Isn't it just Dueling?
Nope, this is something different.
Hello.
You
Velu's
see
gonna
a
look
you see a
directly
giant
at
stab
Ymir.
mark in the chest
9.
of Velu, and you also see a bunch of blade slash marks on this white Leonin, who's carrying a very like a battle axe and a sword. What was the total?
9.
9. Okay. And then
Okay.
if Ymir wants to as well, but you approach.
Ymir?
Well, I'm muted. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Familiar symbologies that you've seen in the past couple, the last month. Jackrabbits, all onto the insignias, even onto the armor of this white Leonin that stands next to Velu. white like jackrabbits, and they're on the armor. You remember this on a ship. You remember this walking through the town of Oracle. You remember this just in passings. Like you find it familiar, and you probably know this the best because you've seen them before in Oracle when you first knew Velu.
Mira's gonna walk up to Velu and he's gonna give him a hug.
Velu is going to give him a hug back, very tightly, and say, "I'm sorry. I was needed somewhere else by a friend, but I'm fine. I guess, even though I have like a stab in my chest, but it's okay."
Father Cruz, you see this white leon whose like arms are kind of crossed and stands there for a moment, looks over, looks at you.
Velu, are you gonna introduce us?
Oh, Velu backs, kind of like takes a step back from Ymir, and he's gonna be like, "Oh, this is Nathaniel.
Just looks
He's
over.
a friend."
Nathaniel,
Father Cruz.
greetings.
Nathaniel, these are the people I've been talking about. Well,
Oh,
you interrupted me, so you didn't let me finish. But these are the people. Well, these are two of the people.
it's a pleasure
This
to
is
meet your
Father
acquaintance,
Cruz, and this is Ymir.
sir.
Ymir
Likewise.
doesn't say anything.
So, judging by all of this, it looks like you've been attacked.
We made camp out here. Seems as though there was some plot, and we were turned on by outsiders. We intended to come into the city of Solaria in the morning. However, within the night did not seem appropriate. We didn't want to alert anybody of our presence.
Visitors are always welcome, regardless of time.
It was my misjudgment. And that cost lives of my men.
So, if you were meeting with Velu, how did you know they were here?
He kind of like stares at Velu.
You remember that thing that happened in the church?
Oh, and you didn't want to tell us that you had friends coming?
I actually, some of the sending messages I ignored. I didn't actually know that they were coming.
Velu.
What?
You and your secrets.
Secrets? I don't have any.
I'm about to make a roll fucking insight check for that shit. You know I fucking am. You're you little shit.
Velu, you can roll a deception with advantage.
Fuck you.
As you see that currently the White Leonan's kind of like creating this presence between the two of you and saying, he was a great help to us in this combat, and I'm happy to have him on our side, and he
What?
means the
That
best.
is
One.
mean.
What was the total?
21.
21-17. Father Cruz, it's hard to read Velu because he seems a little bit of shame in his face still, as he kind of like still stares at Ymir, and he doesn't know if he's like treating words carefully, if he even knows, like, he looks hurt and injured. He definitely feels like hurt, but there's a presence of awkwardness too, as the Leonan's like kind of steps forward. It's like, are you the leader of this city?
I am.
Well, I have.
And are you?
Go ahead.
No, you finish.
I was going to say I need some assistance if you can. I have some fallen soldiers that I need, hopefully, reposed in some kind of way, or maybe we could arrange for them to be kept until we move them to somewhere where I can try to bring them back to home. They are far away from home, and I
Yes,
do not
they could-
wish to bury them in a place they are unfamiliar.
They could obviously stay here.
I apologize for the inconvenience to you. I understand that it could be a big endeavor to invite strangers.
Everyone's welcome here, especially strangers. So, are you Velu's captain?
I would not say that at all.
Belu would side eye.
Velu, your captain?
I would. I.
Belu's continuing to side eye you.
He just like looks at Velu and he's like, "We are very close friends. We've gone a long way back, and I guess you could say we bonded over time."
Belu stops side eyeing. Yep.
Cruz is gonna look at Velu and just put his hands on his hips. Is there any point in talking to you if everything you say is going to be a lie?
Who?
You.
What do you mean?
It seems that this man isn't allowed to speak for himself. Keep looking at him.
On the contrary, I do speak for myself when I say that we have formed a great history with one another that I would happily share. However, it is late, and my men are decaying as we speak. If we could, let's move this towards somewhere appropriate. I do not feel safe in this desert as we've been attacked.
Oh yes, by the jackrabbits, it seems.
On the contrary,
it was not.
Those are my men.
Oh.
They were attacked by, I think,
The Delicians.
Yes,
Oh.
that.
We were aware of them.
I actually found Velu hesitates before saying this. It takes like a minute or so to like think about what he's actually going to say. I think we encountered.
He kind of stops you, and then when you say it out loud, he's like,
Yes. Velu turns to Nathaniel.
I'm not sure if you were ready to share that or not. It's just, it's fine.
Ymir just stares at Velu and squints at him.
The prince sent men to attack my village, and you thought about sharing? You know what? It doesn't matter. Let's just take these men and get them healed.
Okay.
They are lost. We will need to either revive them if you have the capability of doing so, or if not, to send them home.
Velu's gonna look at Ymir. Are you okay?
Father Cruz, the White Lunan kind of steps forward and engages with you, kind of giving Ymir and Velu this moment, like, and just kind of comes up to you and he's like, I'm sorry, I did not trust into your city very much. I do not know much about Solaria. Could you tell me a little bit more?
Oh, well,
And
we're about it's a religious little town over here.
Yeah,
I mean, can we just like, I don't know, trail off?
Yeah, you trail off. Yeah.
The people, yeah, I don't.
Yep. You don't. Yeah. Just the
Ymir
two of you.
Ymir takes out his cracked sapphire and looks at it. Can you just say the truth?
Velu looks to see if anyone else is around.
Nathaniel has walked off at this point with Father Cruz, and the other two guards are watching, but not like fully focused. I would say they would probably follow Father Cruz before continuing to stay with Ymir. I would say Father Cruz, make a charisma check just on the side to see if like you manage to kind of persuade them in a way to come with.
21.
Yeah, they follow you because they feel as though they need to help as much, and the bodies are being carried by your guards, and he's carrying one of his own, and they're focusing on getting these bodies back, and it's just you two.
Velu looks at Ymir, and he's gonna start having his nervous tick. He's gonna start cracking his knuckles, and this like kind of like nervous feeling goes throughout his whole body, and he kind of like starts to like shake a little, and he tries to compose himself before he starts speaking to Ymir.
You don't have to say anything. Just show me who you really are.
Velu. Is Velu in an open area?
You are, but you don't feel watched other than by Ymir.
Velu gives out a big sigh, and he actually reveals his actual true form. And I will send it.
Yeah, send it into the fan art.
Luffy's really ugly, guys.
Fuck you.
I won't change it for now. But
okay, so I have two pictures. One is kind of like what he's wearing, his true form, and this. Fuck you.
I'm sorry.
And that's his like face area, face kind of ish. So he's a kind of like a. I guess I have to reveal this anyways. He's a changeling, and he has white skin complexion with like bluish greenish eyes, white hair. He's actually 6. Wait, where is it? 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 He is not 5'10". In this form, he is. No, in the human form, he was 5'7". In this form, he's 5'11". So he's not that. He's tall, but not that tall. But yeah, that's Belu.
I knew it. I knew it.
Ymir cracks a weak smile as he holds his sapphire that's also cracked. And instead of looking down, he looks up, bags under his eyes from tonight. I think I like this form much better. You look very handsome.
Thanks, but I cannot be in this form for very too long.
Well, thank you for showing me.
No problem. I'm sorry that I made you. I will keep apologizing because I do feel bad, and I need to go apologize to Carnelia and Idris as soon as I go back. But I do apologize for not saying much. As he's speaking, Velu's gonna change back into his human form. And so his height becomes smaller. He's 5'7" again. But yep, I'm sorry.
It's okay. I was just worried that you were gone.
No, but I might be put in this situation where I do have to leave.
If you leave, I will follow.
Why?
Because you're my friend.
Okay. Are you okay though?
No. And Ymir's gonna start walking back towards the town.
Belu's gonna come up from behind him and like hug him again. I'm truly sorry.
It's fine.
I don't like it when you're sad.
It's okay. Please let go.
Okay, I'm sorry. Belu lets go, and then Belu starts like walk with him back to the town.
You notice that he cried a little bit as they walked back.
Belu's just gonna like pat him on the back.
You two share your moment in return. Meanwhile, on the cruise.
Fuck y'all, left me.
You're walking with some dead bodies and a white Leonin.
That's great. Can we do this next session?
As the ending of our session commences. Oop.
sorry guys, I gotta get up at 7 a.m.
I apologize. I mean, we started a little late today. I appreciate you guys' patience and all that. So,
Katie,
Bye, Katie.
I mean,
Oh.
I hope you
night.
get a nightmare.
Bye bye cat.
Fuck off.
Bye.
good night.
You
I
said
will.
I hope they
Bye-bye.
get AIDS in
Oh
game.
my god.
Bye
Good
bye.
night.
Good session.
Woohoo.
Oh. Woo.
So, funny enough, the rolls for this game, what I made the other day, I was rolling for who got the encounters of what, and Zap got twice for the person from the past and duel, and then I had one
Nice.
for Dion's character, for Cornelian, to get lost. And in doing
Wow.
so, his thing affected basically everybody. So, it was pretty fun.
Ymir got FOMO.
For sure. It was like you stood there, and I was like, maybe you want to run for help. He's like, no, he's gonna stand there. I'm like, okay. And as soon as if you would have went back, you would have joined the rest of them in their like double like inception, and that would have been a thing. But it would have been all initiative, and you guys would have been having different initiatives all around. So
I was bugging.
Dude.
Bro,
Yep.
Tweak.
Oh, by the
Tweak
way,
City.
Carnelian can now basically go to the Shadowfell at will.
Type shit.
Sick.
But you can
Oh.
only you can basically only go to the space that you're currently in.
Right.
Yeah. And you can't bring anybody. Well, I guess you could bring people with you, but it's dangerous.
Yeah. Because I kind of
Obviously.
did, but
Yeah, by accident.
yeah.
Well, now my sapphire is cracked.
Your
I don't think I
Your
can
sapphire
use
is
it.
fine. It's just
Oh.
slightly broken.
Oh, okay.
It's like a warning before actually
I think-
things
yeah.
happen.
It happened last time too, but you rested and it returned back to its normal self. You just were exceeding the charges available on it.
No, last time it faded
Yeah.
and then
this-
it recharged.
when you rolled a 10, it did a little bit more to it. Like it's percentage based. So the lower the roll is how much percentage you have left.
So it still has its full power.
It has. You can
Like,
use it
If
again.
I waited.
If you like.
No, I'm
if
just
you-
saying like.
Yes.
I'm just
yes,
saying like.
Yes. 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 Yes.
It would
yes.
still okay.
It still works when you rest. You're fine. I was just letting you
can
know.
probably-
Yeah. It's like
you can probably
durability.
rank
Think
it.
about it like that.
Okay.
And once you exceed its charge rate, it now uses its physical form, and a D100 determines that. Unless you rolled a 100 on the die. Sorry, unless you rolled a 1 on the die. Even then, yeah. Unless you rolled it's actually a 100. If you rolled a 100 on the die, it just breaks.
This
but-
was too much for
yeah.
Ymir.
It's a lot. There's a lot for everybody.
Like-
First off.
Real.
Like from Ymir's perspective, just like
Everybody died.
out of nowhere, Vilu
Vilu
teleports away,
disappears.
gone. Bro floated
Yep.
into dust, and
Yep.
then
And
And
you
then
saw him get
he goes-
stabbed.
Yep.
yeah, and then he goes to see. He goes to tell everybody, and then they're tweaking out. There was everybody got pushed with wow. Everybody took drugs without him. Everybody took drugs without him. Everybody's pushed with
Leon-
fent,
Carnelian
like
crashing
crazy,
out
tweaking out, and then Carnelian overdoses, and he's out.
Mimosa almost crashed out.
Mimosa's like spewing black
But he's
ichor in the
dying.
corner,
Convulsing in the corner, almost being taken over.
and he can't. And the worst part about it is that he couldn't really use magic, so he just felt powerless because he doesn't have anything.
No, like the healing potion like worked in its effect, but it had to be accepted first by the puzzle that was set. It was more of a puzzle than it was a fight. But the puzzle and its effort for all of you was one, Zap taken out of the equation because they had their own thing. And then the rest of you was to identify the light in the rooms and like see like the diffusion. For the people who were present in the secondary incursion, Father Cruz, Mimosa, and Idris, you had to recognize that you were no longer in the material plane, and that light doesn't work in the material plane. So when you guys saw light, that meant it was an illusion, and somehow that was basically tethered to whatever is keeping you here. It was all like a lock in itself. And
Whack.
for Carnelian, you were basically sucked into a double dimension, so Shadowfell into Shadowfell, and you were just stuck in a fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
And once you awoke from the nightmare, you arose in the Shadowfell again, and took control of everything, and it was fine. Everybody who was present with you in those moments, making those saving throws, that was fine. You see, when all of you saw that Carnelian fell again, that was them releasing that power to teleport you all, and you all didn't notice that the room shifted because he basically took you to the same exact place in the Shadowfell, but surrounded in like shadow. And then his incantation was in charge.
So does Carnelian like Mimosa now?
No, Carnelian can control his echo just fine. He
No.
Go ahead.
I asked if Carnelian, Dion, does Carnelian like Mimosa
like
now?
Mimosa.
No.
Oh,
Why? Why would I? Why would I like Mimosa?
cheating
off
on me?
of
Why would
that?
I like
Shade.
Mimosa?
I mean, you guys just caused the similar situation.
yeah,
No.
that's what I thought.
Carnelian has disgust for that situation, and he did it himself. Why would he like it now?
True.
Well, some form of sympathy.
I know.
I think
Rip.
Carnelian needs to like open up as well. That's the problem. Because like now he has 3 individuals who don't know when his crash outs are.
I already know what I'm gonna say and whatnot.
I
so.
know. But it's all fun and games until people start who you care about get involved, and all of a sudden you better start yapping
Ha 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 ha.
and stop recording.